or literature. So in Nigerian music, there's a society called Musical MCSN, so
Mm-hmm.
Musical Collection Society of Nigeria. So it's been around since the 80s, but it's the internal power tussle issues has been going on. It's not recognized by a lot of industry players. There's also another association called COSON, which is the Copyright Organization of Copyright Society of Nigeria. Beg your pardon, COSON.
Yeah.
So COSON and MCSN have been dragging each other to court, but eventually the Malami, that's former AG under Buhari, asked the Copyright Commission to recognize MCSN. So MCSN is the Musical Collection Society of Nigeria as the official collection society of Nigeria. So if you go to your website, you see like a place where they wrote we are the only recognized collection society of Nigeria
Right.
by the Copyright Commission. Yeah,
Yeah, I see it.
so
Yeah.
that's yeah, so there it's they are the like they are, so to say, like the official collection body in Nigeria. So this collection body, they collect royalties from radio, from people who want licenses. Say like a shopping mall now, say like a shop right now wants to play music,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot. So you need to get a license to be able to play music there. So you go and pay that license like an annual fee.
Yeah.
So you pay music. So the issue now with MCSN, again, just like to explain some things. MCSN do there are different things when it comes to publishing and royalties in music. There's the sound recording, there's the masters itself. So the masters is the sound recording is what MCSN does, but they don't do but the government gave them the right to collect both sound recording and masters. So that means they're collecting both mechanical royalties and
And
other form like
performance.
performance royalties, another form of royalties. When typically they should only be collecting performance royalties. That's
Okay.
like public consumption, not mechanical royalties. So, anyways, so now the government wants to pay this money, and the government is insisting. So, the government in this case is the NCC,
Mm-hmm.
that's the Nigeria Corporate Commission. So, they are insisting that they want to pay this private copying, private copying levy. So, this private copying levy is just used to compensate creators, like owners of intellectual property, who cannot adequately license their work due to the peculiarities of the Nigerian society. You don't know, like DJs playing your work
Yeah.
without license, all these things. So they just
Weddings,
collected
playing
the
all your songs, like.
wedding, playing your songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they added that levy to things that is being imported, as I said. So there's called blank media, phones, radio, laptops, copy
It's
machine.
basically a blanket license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever can be used to reproduce intellectual property, either music, either film, either books,
Mm-hmm.
there's a levy attached to
It
it.
makes sense.
So now they've collected that money. So it's a way to compensate the industry, like the creatives.
Yeah.
So now the music part of the money, they want to pay it to a CMO. So, and the official CMO, according to the NCC, is the MCSN, Musical Collection Society of Nigeria. Now, Reply say they do not align with MCSN because they don't have the mandate to receive money for their members. And I mean, you've read out the members of Reply, the
Mm-hmm.
record labels there,
Yeah.
and these are the people with the biggest market share in Nigeria. So NCC is insisting that they'll pay the money to them. And now, under section 88, subsection 9B of the Nigerian Copyright Act, it provides that. So, under section 88 of the 88, subsection 9 of the Nigerian Copyright Act, there's something called extended license that gives MCSN as the official or duly recognized collection society of Nigeria to license the works of its members and also the works of its non-members. So
Right.
essentially, government wants to pay money to the industry, like this sort of levy, and they need to pay to somebody. They can just pay to MCSN because those ones have the power to collect money for everybody. Even
Right.
if you're not their member, they can collect.
Wow.
But now,
Okay.
there's subsection B under that, like subsection B under the act provides that, however, MCSN, which is like the collection, the officially recognized collection society, cannot receive the levy accruing to the work of a person that is duly recognized, duly represented by another CMO. And also, there's also that provides that provision gives other creatives an option to opt out of the jurisdiction of MCSN.
Okay.
That's what Reply.
Oh,
They have
okay.
exercised the
Okay.
right
Okay.
to opt out. So they are saying you cannot represent us. You do not have our mandate. So now
Gotcha.
it boils down to now part of the legislation that Reply is relying upon is section 89 subsection 3 that provides that the private copying levy can be paid to the CMO, the duly recognized CMO, in this case, which is MCSN, or other collection society. So that or other duly recognized collection society, in this case, are societies like Repli, who have
Mm-hmm.
organized themselves and the rights of their members. But the NCC, they are sidestepping that provision and focusing on MCSN
MCSN.
as newly recognized
Right.
body, and we're talking about a lot of money, tens of billions of naira. So the issue is that this money should be used to recapitalize the industry. This money is supposed to go to the pocket of those who are funding the industry in terms of the record label, at talent discovery, recording, marketing. They're essentially the people investing in very
Don't really agree.
sorry.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
interrupt?
No.
Adia, sorry. I want to be clear on what Rel P is. It's a non-profit trade organization. Like in the UK, we have BPI, where you have all the labels get their representation there, right? They are the market shareholders, but I think we need to make a distinction between labels, label interests, artist interests, songwriters, and producer interests. And it's so funny because when we have these conversations, I'm reminded that we're still very new-ish to how things operate. Yes, RELP um should hold weight in what they have to say. And they should be able to lobby and make changes. However, it doesn't mean the money should go to them,
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't agree, because it's like saying the money should go to Sony because they have the biggest market share, and then they should be
That's
able to share.
you're
N-
missing the point entirely.
no, I'm
That's
not
not that.
missing the point. I'm
Yeah, you
trust
are
Okay.
me.
missing the point.
No, no,
Okay.
no. I'm not missing the point. I'm talking about
Okay, L.
I'm
let me
talking
finish
L.
about
explaining.
being able to
Then you
like
can
being
now.
able to lobby
So
L,
with
real quick.
the
Oh, sorry, real quick. We'll let Adair finish, and then we'll open the floor
okay,
for more
okay.
so
questions.
essentially, there's
Yeah.
money to be shared. So let's keep it very basic. There's money to be shared
Right.
for people, right holders in the music industry. Right holders are artists, producers, people with intellectual property, mechanical performance royalties. There's money to be shared, and MCSN can't receive money for people that is licensed under them. Essentially, they are members. They boast of 35,000 members. So they are entitled to receive money for those people. Then there's also Repli, who has its own members and its own market share. And they are saying MCSN cannot receive money for us. Repli is not saying give us the entire money. They're saying divide
Yeah.
this money. Okay, what is the formula for dividing this money? How do we divide it? What is the market share? How do we determine market share? How do we determine listenership? How do we determine reach? How do we determine all these things to determine what should go to who?
Gotcha.
If we are able to ascertain these metrics, then we cannot decide that okay, this is what is due to Repli right holders. You give it to us, we give it to our members. They're saying that NCC do not give what is due to us to MCSN because you claim they are the duly recognized collection society in Nigeria, when there's an express provision of legislation that say we can receive money for our members if we opt out of the jurisdiction of MCSN. So that's the fundamental argument in all of this. So and just to just round up, so
Yeah.
Repli is like they're affiliated with the IFPI,
Yeah.
who also wrote a letter to the
To
NCC
NCC. Yeah.
and asked that they should distribute the funds in a manner that is equitable. And they also quoted the World Intellectual Property legislation, WIPO, because Nigeria is a signatory to that international legislation. So, and it demands that things like this should be done by international standard, and they should not give what is due to right holders to somebody that doesn't have the mandate. And I mean, we don't want to. I think maybe that's a different conversation entirely. But I think everyone that would I say like a functioning understanding of these kind of issues in Nigeria know why there are parallel societies like Repli, because the MCSN has
Mm-hmm.
consistently have internal tussle. And if you look at the board, like if you look at the COSOL board, with all due respect to everyone there, it's really comical. Like I don't see why these people should be representing the interest of an industry when there are different people putting money and taking the risks, and you guys are just there trying to like reap where you do not sow. You understand? So even so, people
Do
like
you mean do you mean
MCSN,
do you mean MCSN or COSAN?
both of them,
Both of
MCSN,
them.
COSOL, they see, they've dragged each other to court a lot.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
although, so the recognition of MCSN by law backs them, which means
Yeah.
they win in court consistently. There's
Mhm.
even a Supreme Court judgment backing MCSN that they are the duly recognized collection society in Nigerian music. So there's that. So that's the issue. So it's an issue of procedure. Like, what does the law say? The provisions of the law is very clear in this case, and the SCNC are for some reason refusing to follow that laid down procedure. So personally, I'm going to their office in Lagos tomorrow. I hope it's functional
Right.
to ask some questions. And I'm supposed to go. I'm also going to the MCSN office to
Okay.
ask some questions and say, what's happening, what's your stand on this and everything. But just like this, are just like simply the facts.
Yeah.
This is what Repli is fighting for, and that's the argument.
Awesome. Real quick, I know I'm going to open the floor to more questions, and appreciate the intro to the topic. I dare for that one, but I was very curious on RELPI's establishment, right? What year was this formed? Because I remember the announcement being done. I think it was sometime after COVID. It feels in the last 5 years or so, and when
I think it's still quite recent. I'm not very sure. I think it's between 2021 or 2022.
Right.
So it's not, and it's also, just to be clear, it's not, RELP doesn't represent the Nigerian music industry. RELP doesn't represent all
of Nigeria. Yes, yeah, that's valid.
It represents the people who have come together to form it.
To form it, right? Okay.
And those are the people who say, okay, our share of this levy, give it to us.
Gotcha.
Don't give it to MCS.
Gotcha.
And the question is, under the Nigerian Copyright Act 2022, beg your pardon, are they allowed to make such demand? And the answer is yes. Clearly, you can read section 89, subsection 3 of the Copyright Act, and it provides that the money, the private copy levy, can be paid to a collection society of Nigeria, which is in this case MCSN, or any duly organized collection society, which in this case.
But the problem is that RELP is not a
Sorry, L. So
CMO.
sorry, L. We'll definitely have the floor eventually. Just give me a few minutes just to clarify some questions. But yeah, on the statement of duly recognized, right? What exactly is the legal path for RELPI to be recognized by the NCC, or is this the first moment where they've actually had to present themselves to NCC, or has there been an opportunity before this? Is this the first point?
Okay, so that's an interesting one. And so when I was doing my research, right, from a legal point of view, the question is, okay, is RELP recognized as a CMO?
Right. That's the big question.
And so, but the answer to that is, the SEC doesn't recognize them as a CMO. They recognize only one CMO, which is MCSN. But section 89, section 3 doesn't, as provided that you don't have to recognize as a CMO to get your money. You can be an organization of rights holders with duly organize yourself, and in this case, I would assume duly organize yourself under the let me say the code interpretation of the law, so to say.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an organization that is duly recognized and duly registered under Nigeria's Copy Allied Matters Act, which RELP has done. But I guess that this matter will be tested in court. But the urgency of the issue is that this money is likely to be disbursed soon. And just to add a pointer, there was a conversation.
Sorry, Adario. It's getting hard to hear you now. I think there's a bit of wind.
Is it clear? Is it clear now?
Not much, but I think you can go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should move around. I don't know. Is it a bit better now?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah, it's
I can hear.
Yeah, it's much better now. Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, so last year, so one of the reasons why RELP is fighting tooth and nail for this is because last year there was MCSN represented Nigerian music industry, so to say, in a case against DSTV.
Okay.
Are you guys with me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. DSTV, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and the payout was said to be in the region of over 2 billion.
Right.
And this money was said. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. You're good.
Okay, so and this money, according to my findings, was the MCSN claim, although I'll ask them for clarity tomorrow, so I don't I can hear from both sides. They claim to have disbursed this money to the industry. There's no record as to
Wow.
who got what and who got what. So, and this is like the first of different cases of what has been happening with these people just taking from representing the industry, and there's no auditing,
There's no
there's no
transparency.
clarity, there's no standard, there's no transparency on how this fund is being dispersed. So that's why people like RLP said, okay, we don't want to be part of this. We don't want to be part of this at all. And there's also more association coming up who the back RLP. Like, for example, there's the Publishers Association of Nigeria, Music Publishers Association of Nigeria, MPAN. Bizu is part of that association. So they back RLP as well. They believe RLP is more represent their interests more. So it's a question of procedure and statutory law, and yes, but NCC as it stands now, NCC is not budging. They insist that they are going to pay that particular levy due to the music industry to MCSN, and RLP is saying no. So I don't know. We're following the case. I will see if we go to court, or they are going to get a plenary order stopping the CBN from disbursing that fund until probably the National Industrial Court adjudicate on the issue. So I'll just keep you guys updated.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Appreciate that. I just want to ask one last question. And this might be an opinionated one, but I think it can still be fact-based. If in the scenario where RLP gets the recognition from NCC and the payment is then distributed to them, I guess what factors or who keeps them accountable, or what factors or what checks and balances exist for a situation like MCSN not to happen again? You know what I mean? Like, in terms of the lack of transparency, in terms of the lack of accountability in a lot of ways. But I guess since some of them, or because they're the biggest players, what's going to happen to the smaller players, right? In that scenario, if you have any, I guess, just judgment.
I mean, I cannot. I can't say. I cannot. I'm not holding brief for LP.
Yeah.
So I won't speak as
right.
to the potential that they will turn out to be under MCSN. But what I will say is that they represent a modern part of the industry who for the past 10 years have put their money where their mouth is as far as Afrobeat goes,
right,
and have funded and invested within the ecosystem.
Gotcha.
And at the end of the day, right, it's if you look at the people who formed that association, at least the members of the association, I think they can hold their own and hold each other accountable.
Right.
There's a WADA, there's a Sony, there's a UMG. Those are majors. I don't think you can cheat one without asking serious questions or not being tied up in litigation that your grandchildren will keep even facing. You understand? So I think in terms of modern procedures, due standards, and also them being affiliated with IFPI, I think they're exposed to a more solid procedure and more due process, and so to say more scrutiny compared to MCSN that is shrouded in mystery. That even the statements, the last statement they released, or the industry digest, so to say, they released in 2022, just made absolutely no sense to everybody as to what they've done with the money, who gets what, and they've been dragging each other to court, and it's just internal tussle and everything. And the people who run it, I think the current president of MCSN, it's a former musician. I've forgotten his name. He used to make music in the 70s, 80s. They just don't represent the current outlook of the industry, so to say. So that's the situation. So just to answer the question, I do think in terms of being positioned to in terms of an organization being positioned to run properly, I think RLP has all that it takes to function properly. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate your time, bro. Appreciate your time for this, and I hope you can stick around just for, I guess, the little discussion that we have on this. But I know El had, or Belema, do you want to say something before El?
Real fast before El jumps in, because I know El probably has something to add. I know she definitely has something to add to this. But what I'm going to say is this: I fear, and I think this is my big fear in all of this, is that this is going to become a battle of who's the person that's meant to collect, right? And the reason why I'm prefacing by saying this is because the way I see this situation playing out is, in a way, when Elle was saying something along the lines of that doesn't mean they should be the ones collecting it, I agree with her. But then I'm also in the headspace of like, okay, so who should be collecting it? And how do we watch this play out in the grand scheme of things? Because at the end of the day, what I'm fearing is most likely to happen is, in all things typically Nigerian, MCSN comes in and says, well, you guys are not put together, and there's this other organization that's coming up that is also saying they should be the ones to collect. So now, since none of you can agree, we're just going to keep collecting. And I think that's where I find the likely opportunity of a dilemma popping up. But I'm curious.
Are there any other bodies that are coming up?
No, there are a few that are coming up. I know that, like, they mentioned the one that is actually in
MPAN?
support. Yeah, they're in support of RELPI, but there are people that are in hush hush discussions where they're trying to come up with their own, and
Okay.
I don't want this to be a business. It's not a business venture to become a collecting agency. Like,
Yeah.
please, that's like,
Yeah, it's supposed to be non-profit.
I think I'll share a document because there's actually like a guideline, which like a CMO guideline, like under Nigerian law, like that requires you to meet a particular set of like standards
Requirements
before you can be considered a CMO. So yeah, and that was in when I think was it 2018 when Malemi asked this NCC to recognize MCSN as the duly, like as the major, like the main and primary CMO in Nigeria. The Gazette said that they haven't fulfilled all requirements of the CMO some 2007. So I'll look for that legislation and send to you. So it's not something like just like 7 artists in Ojolegba or First that can come together and be like, okay, we don't want to be part of something.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not possible. That's why under the Corporate Act there's something called the extended license of the MCSN to receive like levies and royalties on behalf of people that are not even their members.
Right.
Except you opt out. So for you to opt out, you have to organize yourself into another CMO, and to organize yourself into another CMO, you have to meet a particular standard.
Yeah.
A lot of standards.
Adelaide, that's my problem, is that even the MCSN themselves did not meet the standard.
Did not meet that standard.
So what are we talking about?
At least they met the standard as per what Nigerian government is trying to do. So see, I don't want to like the truth is the powers that be, so to say, they favor MCSN for one reason or the other, and for some reason I really can't see, and we just have to keep saying allegedly that. But it is clear that the government favors MCSN for some reason or the other. Yeah, because it was either MCSN or COSON.
Right.
And they've been dragging each other.
And we already know about COSON. So.
Well, because they're a CMO as well. Like, I think
the Supreme Court has legislated on this.
Put context into things.
Sorry, L, you would definitely have the floor right now. Please, let's not interject. Let's not interject.
Let her talk.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys have been so.
No, for sure. We're getting to it for sure.
Okay, well, I have a bedtime, so. Yeah, good Happy New Year, everybody, or whatever.
Year. Hi, L.
Hi. Ade, Ayo, babes. First of all, like, I completely understood what you were saying. I was trying to budge on to, like, I was trying to, like, get people to understand that this RELP or RELPI is like BPI, right? So, they, like you've all said, they represent the labels, and so on and so forth. And the thing is, they're not a CMO. They're just not. They are not a CMO. Like you've budgeted on saying, okay, CMOs have to be X, Y, Z. They can't collect because they're not a CMO. That's just why they wouldn't be able to collect on behalf of their of the people that they have their mandate for. And so what would then need to happen is, if we're saying that an CSN isn't fit for purpose, what is fit for purpose? So that's why I liked Emmanuel's last question like, what are the alternatives? Are they going to collectively lobby and then say, okay, you know what, we don't want to use MCCSN. This is the alternative of where it's going to go. Is the the levy, the money coming from the levy, is it going to be rerouted via a different management or a CMO organization, or like what is the solution? Because they can't just say, because we're RELP, we want it, we don't want it to be dispersed via MCSN. I'll give an example on the PRS side. That happens all the time. So um even if you're not technically a PRS member, your money, the collectively the money for that comes from, I don't know, shops, bars, clubs, whatever, goes through PRS. So until you plug in, you don't get it. So whether it's not about whether you've signed up to be a member. It's just there. It's just sitting there. And I know, obviously, we're talking about transparency and will the money just sit there? Somebody will chop it before it even. Somebody will create what's that thing they do during elections where they'll create fake fake artists, fake label, fake, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's the corruption point of view, but I was just trying to make clear that people understand that RELPI is obviously, like, they're strong in terms of the fact that it's industry led, it's, you know, member led. But I do feel like it doesn't make it a CMO. Those are two separate things, and I think for you might understand that, but for people listening, they
Yeah,
might
that's
just
why.
think,
I think my question basically pointed that out, right? Like, to see if they are illegitimate, or at least they're recognized as a CMO.
yeah, but they're not. They
Yeah.
can be legitimate and recognized. They're not a CMO. That's what I'm trying.
Yeah.
They're not.
And I think
They couldn't be. They
Yes.
wouldn't be. They're a
Yes.
lot. They're a trade organization that focuses on the rights of whoever they're trying to, you know, protect.
Right,
And in
right.
this case, it's the labels. And the reason why I'm saying it's important not to muddy the waters there is because there has been, and it does often happen where a label isn't necessarily on the same page as its artist.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think what the letter is citing a provision that allows them to opt out of
Exactly.
an
That's my
MCSN.
question.
No. The letter does say that they should respect the fact that they can opt out, and that's fine. But the point is, if you opt out, where does the money go?
Right.
If those that opt out, that's
Okay.
what I was trying to get to.
I think they are the point of or at least this is just from everything that we've gathered so far. I think they are the point of halting the transaction to MCSN, whereas
So they don't want to rush it.
basically, because I think at this point they just want to halt it so they don't have a lot more work to retrieve money from MCSN, who is not accountable, right? So I think
absolutely.
So
then
there can be a scenario.
When you're trying to hold something, what's the alternative? That's what I'm talking about.
Right. I think the one thing will have to come first before the other, right? Stopping it first is important. It seems like the emergency call right now to make is to stop the transaction, and then I think Adeayo pointed out there's an actual criteria, there's guidelines to be recognized as a CMO. I'm just gonna take the wild guess that the fact that RELP has all the members and has IFPI supporting them and backing them, I'm gonna guess that they are working towards meeting the CMO guidelines, right?
I don't know.
I feel like
RELP should be what it is. I feel like RELP should be what it is.
Sorry, real quick.
I think there should be a separate.
Okay.
I feel like RELP should be what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, BPI doesn't collect on behalf of its members.
Okay. So
does that make sense?
Yes. I know that. But
so just check your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I sent you part of the Copyright Act where it expressly states the requirement to be a CMO.
Okay.
And if you check it, you can see that. Did
you send it to me?
Like,
no, send it to me.
It's just section 88 of the Nigeria Copyright Act. Just check section 88, subsection 1.
So does
you can read it out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean it's essentially long, but which provision did you want again?
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I think because this is where L is kind of where I'm at too, in the sense that this thing that is happening is the same
90.
thing that we went through when we were talking about Koson, right? And I think where I'm poking a hole, like I'm with Elle in what she's saying, but where I'm poking a hole is the question of where does the money go while we're sorting this out. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we are in a Nigerian system, and a Nigerian system is, first of all, not kind. It's also very slow. So in something where you're saying, okay, yes, let's get down to the bottom, like even the one that you were talking about last year, the issue they had with DSTV, where they got the money and they're saying they passed it out. Who did they pass it out to? Where is the audit? Who are we looking at? All these different things, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's going to take them 6 years to get to that audit. And that is because we are Nigerian.
But
And so
Belema,
it's
you
like-
do agree that it's better to, I guess, emergency
and so that
pause
is where
to call it
that is
pause, call
where
it freeze on the transaction.
And that is where my issue comes in, right? Is because what you are then, in other words, saying is that there should be a pause. But what that pause looks like
Belema,
is that
sorry to jump in, but like there's already like an answer of where the money goes according to the legislation of like the
Okay.
Nigerian Copyright Act itself. There's
It
no,
goes
like,
to other CMOs, right?
Yes, okay, let me read just briefly.
Yes.
Don't
Please
take long. Let me
please
just
read the
section.
brief part.
because that
Let
part
me read
I
section
didn't
89.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me read section 89,
88.
section 3
Okay.
for you guys. So it says the levy payable under this section shall subject to approval deductions be paid into the funds of the commission, and the commission shall have powers to disburse the funds to the approved CMO or other representatives of rights owners in accordance with the regulations made by the commission.
All right.
Other representative of rights owners, in this case, RLP, who are representative of rights owners. And if you read
Oh,
section
God.
88,
Okay.
yes, if you section
Yeah,
88
that makes sense. That makes
of
sense.
the act,
Wait,
yeah, if you
Adeyo,
section 88 of the act,
one thing.
So in
Wait,
other words, they
wait.
don't.
Wait,
hold
guys.
on, hold
Sorry,
on,
sorry,
hold on.
sorry, guys. Sorry,
So
guys.
Hold on.
Sorry, Belema. Let's just allow Adair to finish reading the statement, and then we'll respond. Because we're cutting it short too much. Please, Adair, just finish you can unmute now, please. Just to finish the statement about about that clause you were reading.
okay, yeah. So I don't know if you guys get it or you want me to like
No,
read
no,
that particular.
No, you've already
Okay, yeah, so now-
it's pretty straightforward.
No, you've
but...
read it. Sorry.
Yeah. So now
Emmanuel, so
on
sorry.
the
Wait, Belema.
on the this thing, like even in to the question of it is RLP is not currently a CMO, but on the question of what passes as a CMO or what should the NCC approve to be a CMO, that is section 88 subsection 2A to D of the Nigerian Copyright Act 2022.
That's your
It says that
interpretation. Sorry,
Wait,
let me not
I'm
interrupt.
trying to read from the act
Sorry.
directly now. I'm not
Wait,
interpreting. I'm reading directly from the act.
Guys,
So
please
it
let's
says that
skip into.
that this 88 subsection 2, it says that the commission may approve a CMO if it's satisfied that A, it is incorporated as a company limited by guarantee. B, its objects are negotiable, grants copyright licenses, collect royalties on behalf of copyright owners, and distribute such royalties. C, it represents a substantial number of owners of copyright works protected by the act. So now you have to recall your mind to section 2 of this act, which stipulates what passes as copyright, like what can be protected under this act: music, movies, sound recordings, intellectual properties.
Hello.
Conditions prescribed by regulations made by commissions under this act. So now ask yourself these questions from A to D. As RLP passed this, RLP clearly says that it represents the rights of its members outside Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and is also affiliated with IFPI. So it clearly passes the provision that it licenses music, collects royalties, and distributes them to its members, and it also represents a substantial owners of copyright in any category of work, in this case music, because its members have some of the largest market share in Nigeria. So let's stick to the law stricto sensu. The provisions are clear.
Yeah.
Like,
the provisions are very clear. You're not wrong. What I'm saying, what I'm getting at here. Yeah. So Adeyo, you know why it's so funny? Now that you've read it out, that is why this is hilarious. Because what you are, in other words, telling me is that you have to be a CMO to collect. But if the current CMO is not up to
No,
par.
No,
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 you
no,
do
no,
not
no,
have to
Belema,
be
you
a
don't have to
CMO to
be. That's
collect
the
under
thing.
section
Yeah,
89 subsection 3.
yeah. So basically,
You have to be duly
so
organized,
duly
right?
organized. Yeah. So what I'm getting at,
Yes.
and sorry, I'm just going round in circle to basically say that RELP essentially did not make themselves the CMO, but they made themselves an
A
organization
rights holder,
that
basically.
passes the collection criteria. That is what
Yes,
I'm getting
right
Yes,
at.
owners,
yes,
So
yes.
according to
in
the
other
regulations made
words,
by the commission.
Yeah.
in other words, RELP is not a CMO, but
No.
they
Yes,
have built
there's no,
Yes.
themselves.
there's only one
But
CMO in
they
Nigeria,
have
so
built
we don't have
themselves.
to debate that
Yes,
part.
yeah.
There's only
Not
one
really
CMO
to
in
No,
be a
no.
Nigeria,
CMO. They beat themselves to be
Real
a
quick,
trade.
real quick.
as recognized by law.
Yes.
As recognized by law.
Please, let's let
Well,
Belema
can I just
finish her
finish? Like,
thought. Let's Belema
fine.
finish her thought real quick.
I hadn't finished. Belema jumped in, but I want to just
My hand has been up.
Wait,
finalize my point.
No,
'Cause
I just
think I was-
don't.
El, please
Okay,
go
guys,
ahead.
guys,
El,
guys.
please
I
I
just
was
don't
trying
want
to
us to
say what I
interject
actually
with
was
each
trying
other,
to
man.
say was that just because RELP, because there's going to be that they might eventually be a subset of labels that decide to do another trade union, right, and fight for, I don't know, touring now, and then they say that, but we want to collect all the levy that comes from touring. What will you say to them? Oh yeah, sure, you're organized, collect. I'm trying to say that I'm not saying no to RELP or and yes to MCSN. I'm saying that if there needs to be a collective management organization for such things, or a certain body that such things go to, we need to have that separate. And the reason being is because a few years down the line, we'll have one artist come up and say, "Oh, that my label. Oh, they're collecting everything. They're even collecting what's coming from RELP." The problem is like, and it's like, "Oh yeah, that RELP, we prop them up." Well, yeah, they're how come because they're a label, or it's the labels and it's the people that have the loudest voices, the mavens, the so on and so forth. Right now, it's like, oh, they're legitimate, and we like this is a trap. I can literally see it in like 10, 20 years, us coming back and saying, oh, we thought we knew what we were talking about
Wait,
then.
wait,
Hold
wait,
on, hold
wait,
on.
That's what you're
wait.
Just
doing.
because,
Before
just
you
because
Oh,
there
you're
was a
going
legitimate.
far. Oh, you're
Just
going far with
no,
this.
I'm not
You're
going for guys. I've seen. I literally. This is the stuff I see in my job
Got
here
you,
with
got you,
Sony.
got
So
you.
I'm literally saying I see this stuff. Literally,
There
Sony
are
fights for
there are artists
Sony.
in
Like, hold
UK
on.
where you
Sorry,
wait, there are
Adair, sorry,
artists
Okay, go on,
Adair.
Adeo.
where
Sorry.
you work, and in
Yeah.
the US who have not seen a penny of their royalties, and it doesn't stop the collection bodies from there from functioning. Let's not put
No,
the
I'm
horse
not
before
disputing.
the cart
That's
before the
true.
horse.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not
See,
putting the cart before the
we
horse.
have
What I'm
a
trying to say to
society
you
that
is
Sorry,
doesn't
guys. I
just
don't
there should
want.
be a
focus on
separate.
just
Okay, go on, finish.
So sorry, guys. So sorry. I beg both of you, please do not talk about each other, man.
Sorry,
I know,
finish, Adeo.
I know. Ella has the floor now, man. Then Adair can respond once, but I think Adair, you can respond to what Ella said so far, since she has
I
given
think,
it.
yeah, he can go ahead. Go on.
Yeah, I just don't want the guys to talk over each
what,
other, man.
what,
That's
what
all.
I'm saying is L is putting the cart before the horse. Right. I get that. Okay, there's a like you're trying to preempt, because yeah, it's good to preempt issues before it arises. It's called being, yeah, you have to be progressive and say, okay, what's the possibility of other, so to say, like parallel organization coming up to claim rights. But we have to look at the letters of the law and look at it to the latter and say, okay, what are the provisions of this? What are the provisions? What does the law say about someone organizing themselves before they can be recognized? Like, if you can meet their criteria, it's not something small, it's substantial. And the literal interpretation and the good interpretation of that law will be applied by the court if they're interpreting the law. It's not going to be a case of, okay, substantial is subjective, it's like 100 people come together. No, substantial is people with significant like catalog and rights in their own, like, that they are managing. So we're talking about people who you have catalog that spreads across.
I don't have the time
history of
today, guys. A
Nigeria.
CMO is a different creature.
No, guys,
it's not what
guys,
you think it is.
guys, we're going to
Adeo,
circles
it's not
now.
what you think it is.
Guys, we're going to
It's
circles
not what
now.
you think it is. Trust me.
But
what's a CMO?
no, but he said
What's a CMO?
no, but
What's a CMO? Their standard practices, their global standard practices CMOs must obtain.
Of course.
Like, there's some stipulated under the law, and I'm saying, like, even going by the letters of the law alone, the provisions of the word substantial rights under their management substantially like represent the rights of artists. It's not something that any Tom, Dick, and Harry, with all due respect to everybody, can come together and form like and say we want to collect. And it's under the the NCC has the jurisdiction to say we do not recognize you, and where it is reasonable, where it is logical, they will not be recognized. We expect that the law will be logical in its application.
Right.
If 5 people come together and say, okay, we are a CMO, give us our own court, the law, the NCC will say no. By virtue of section 88 subsection 1, MCSN will collect money for you, even if you are not licensed under them, because they have what is called an extended license, because you are not duly recognized. But in cases where people are duly recognized and they have passed all the spirit of the law, all the requirements of the law, and they have collected royalties for their members in outside Nigeria, and they are affiliated to the global standard for the protection of phonographic recordings in the world, I think they've passed the intent of the law. And it is the case of, are we going to follow the law or not? I don't think this is the case of in 10 years time RLP would fuck.
I just don't see them as a CMO as they are stated.
Yeah,
not,
but
for me personally, the research that I've done, I don't see them personally.
I don't think it's fair to ask, but I don't think it's fair to say RLP should sit dogs and allow.
I didn't say they should sit. That wasn't me. That was Fela. I didn't say they should stop. I just said that.
In the spirit of us having one, in the spirit of us having one collection society, in the spirit of being united, people have been consistently cheated for decades and decades. Money is being taken by the government, is being cornered left and right.
All agreed, by the way. I didn't say MCSN should take it either.
You guys should go online and search for Poson. Go to the About Us part of the website and look at their board.
I think you guys are missing my point. I'm not saying that MCSN should take over RLP. I'm just saying that RLP is doing a great job as they are. Like what they are, because I recognize them. Like I said, they're literally the BPI of Nigeria, and BPI doesn't collect
as a CMO.
Okay. Guys, we're going in circles. We're going in circles.
And in this case, I think they should collect what is due to their members, because that's only what is fair.
Then they should create a CMO for that.
But Sorry. So sorry.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, no, because I think we're gonna keep.
Oh my! It is definitely in circles now because
it's gonna cause a bit of confusion. So here are the things that we are kind of all agree on. MCSN is the collecting society right now. Yes, beautiful, lovely. The law has stated that they are the ones collecting. RLP is a trade organization, non-profit, that has come together with the governing bodies and said, these people are not fulfilling their part of the job. Beautiful, lovely, love that for them. RLP has said that. Now, they also, as per the laws of Nigeria, they also meet the requirements to collect. Now,
thank you. That's it. That should be fine now. That should be fine now, man.
So now, wait, hold on, everybody, please, because I don't want us to keep going back to the same thing. Because one of the things that Elle is saying is that her point is very clear, and there's the whole don't preempt what is happening. That's not the point. The issue is that yes, money is disappearing, and people need to have the money that has disappeared. The money that has disappeared into abyss. They should find it and bring it back.
Anyway.
So if RLP wants to represent the people that are under them, beautiful, lovely, love that for them. Now these artists, these singers, these publishers, these writers, sound recording owners, they can now have access to what is owed to them. And since RLP meets the requirements by Nigerian law, they can collect. What my thing was in all of this, and this is where my own thing was, is not that we should, because here's the thing, in Nigeria, when we say, investigate, it takes 10 years. They will waste that. So my thing was, when we say should we pause or should we not pause or anything, my question was, okay, if we are not pausing, or if we are pausing, who is it going to? The law has stated that RLP qualifies to collect. So my thing in all of this, and I hear you, Adeayo, it's not chicken change. You can't just wake up one day with 5 people. There's criteria. I hear there's criteria. But one thing about Nigerians, they do succeed. in manufacturing criteria. So love that for them.
Yeah, I
It might
think.
take a while. It might take a while, but
Yeah.
I do not think it is wrong to have the fear that
No, of course. Like,
somebody else will come with
of
their
course.
own organization. And you also forget that the people within this RELP, maybe 2 or 3 labels within there decide that they don't like RELP anymore. They go and form their own. They're also governing bodies. They still meet the criteria too.
And then they'll fight in court,
So
right?
and then that causes infighting. So somebody.
So
and that
those
is
things
where
are bound to
Which is
happen.
where I was
No,
going.
of
which is
course.
why was
I know,
trying to
I know,
say
I
it should
wanted
just be
it to be
independent.
clear.
I think
It
those
doesn't
things
have
would
to be
happen. Belema,
Yeah.
those things are a given.
Could
Those things
happen.
are a given that could
My
happen.
submission was that
But-
there should be a independent RELP. If they're really trying to do something great, they should make like an independent version of what they're trying to do
So-
outside of RELP. So RELP can still operate. It'll be like the PPL of Nigeria. So there's PRS, there's PPL. It would be like the PPL. That's what it would be like.
Right.
It would be like the PPL PRS. It would be like the PPL PRS. That's what it would be.
It's unfair to think that nothing wrong could happen.
Yeah, no one is saying nothing
This
wrong
is
could
not
happen
even
from
saying
this. I don't
that
think anyone is saying
anything
that.
wrong will happen with RELP or they are acting in bad faith. I actually think they're acting in good faith.
So
think
do
they're
I.
acting in perfect
Agreed.
faith.
So do I.
Can I just ask a question?
Agreed, but it only takes one person to ruin it, and that's
No,
happened
but
a lot when-
anything shit can hit the fan. That's for a fact. Like,
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Naya, please
But
ask
it doesn't mean real quick just on the fact that shit can hit the fan and things can go wrong doesn't mean the right steps don't need to be taken regardless.
No, they do, but I'm just saying,
Right?
like, do you understand that RELP
It's
represents
about
one part of the
balancing.
industry? It's about balancing it.
It's about
And I think
balancing
that's
it.
what I'm
I understand that, and that's
It
why I even
represents
asked. That's
one
why I
part.
even
It
asked.
represents the labels.
That's why I
It doesn't represent
no.
everybody.
Artists.
That's what I'm trying to help you guys understand.
Listen, I completely.
No, but from the label perspective, Adaya, you need to understand where I was coming from.
Members.
No, I
From
think
the
I
label
think.
You understand?
perspective, though,
Yeah.
that's what you're not getting.
Mavis, by virtue of being RELP, is receiving money on behalf of Rema
Yeah, that's still not. You're still not getting my point.
But it's
This is what you're
about,
not getting
like-
it.
No,
This is-
I think we do, guys. I think we do.
Entitled to them.
He's not
All
getting
right,
my
all
point,
right,
though.
all right,
He's not.
all right, guys.
Entitled to maybe
So,
not the
no.
artist.
No, I think-
membership.
I think you are conflicting.
No.
You are conflicting the fact that
I'm not.
Wait,
It's literally
wait,
what I do in my
Wait,
day.
L, just listen to the last statement and then please, we definitely need to move on to more speakers. But
Yeah, wait, can I just shout
Real
out?
quick.
Like, Wednesday, I'm having a longer discussion on this, so please feel free to join my space, 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Thanks, guys.
all right, noted for sure. Adayo, real quick closing remarks.
Oh yeah, so
Closing
I'll just
remarks.
round up what I'm trying to say. Right.
Yes.
So the thing is now, what MCSN has been doing for years and what they are going to do in this case is to receive money on behalf of the industry. So let's first make that clear. Put that back of your mind. On behalf of the Nigerian music industry, you are a member. You are not a member. They are receiving money on your behalf, and they are going to decide how they are going to
distribute
share
that money.
to you. Yeah, there's no before they have not decided that okay, this is what goes to who, this is what we are using to, this is the data or the partners, the auditors we are using to determine market share and what goes to who. That has not been established yet. That has never been the operation model of MCSN. MCSN receive money for everybody and they claim to disburse it and nobody knows what happens after that. So now let's talk about RELP. RELP is not receiving money for the industry. RELP is not receiving money, is not substituting MCSN. RELP is simply taking its own mandate from SCSN, which means that they are now representing the rights of their own members. So if you are not a part of RELP, for example, there are major market shareholders in Nigeria. They are not a part of RELP. Empire, Dapper Music, they are not a part of RELP. These are record labels. And that means these people's money is going to MCSN.
Right.
That's it. So it is the money accrued. Like that means they're asking the NCC to determine the sharing formula, determine the market share, and give us what is due to our own right members.
Right.
Simple.
Right.
The rest of the industry, if they feel so led, or they don't like, they can go and meet MSN.
They can go and tackle MCSN.
Or you can just
Right.
sit dogs and let MCSN
Right.
do as it pleases with your money. But Ripley is saying, as far as
our rights,
concerned,
yes, like
our
yes,
rights,
got
the
you.
people duly registered
It makes sense.
under us.
It makes sense.
This is what we want. So I think it's being conflated and saying
Yeah.
one person is trying to substitute the other person.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Yeah, and
That's not the case.
so yeah, just to
Just to make
emphasize,
that clear.
just to make it clear, I think RELP isn't collecting everybody's money. is
no,
the
they're not
point.
collecting everybody's
They're
money.
collecting their
money
own.
for their
So
rights
Yes.
members.
Then they should come out direct
I
and
think,
just do a CMO.
For their rights
then.
holders.
So I
Simple.
think Adeayo, I think that's where the issue that L is having and I am having a little bit is that I truly understand that the law permits them to do this, and I truly understand that they are not doing this for everybody, they are doing this for their members. What I am saying, and L, forgive me if I'm like jumping ahead, but what I think L is also saying here, and where we're both agreeing, is don't use corners, right? Even though the law says they can do
And
it.
What corners
would
are
be the
here?
corners?
What
Jump
corners here? What are the corners?
Yeah,
What would be the
and what
corners in this case? You need to explain that.
What
What
are
would
the
be
Come out
corners?
as a CMO then.
Because
so
their
the
actions
corners-
are followed the
the
law to the
corners
letter.
that
To
the
the
corners
letter. So
that
what
I
is the
am
corner?
saying,
But they
the corners
can't,
that I am
right?
saying is that why don't you just come out and say we are a CMO but for only our members.
Which is the
Why don't
same
you
thing.
just-
It's the same thing, it's just
They-
semantics
they
at that
cannot
point.
No,
call
it's
them-
not.
So why are you using other words then?
No, I think you are
No,
misrepresenting like you are misinterpreting the intentions of the law or the position of the law. You cannot be
Please, let's read that.
identified as a CMO
Please,
except by the NCC.
let's read that clause again. Let's read that clause again.
Is you-
Okay, so and that is what I'm saying,
The
Adeayo.
CMO.
I understand that they do not.
No, you
qualify
do not
as a
understand.
CMO.
What you have
just said
I
is
understand that
absolutely
they do not
wrong.
qualify. No, Adeayo, I truly believe you when you say that,
No.
and I
No,
listen
you
to you
went
read.
no.
Whenever.
You said they
They
follow
do
the
not
corners
qualify
and they
as
didn't
a
come outside
CMO.
as a
No,
I
they're not
agree
they're not
with that.
following
not
corners.
CMO.
They're not following
Because
corners.
they are not recognized.
The law
They are not
says
recognized
The
as
law.
a CMO.
But
They
as a
cannot be
CMO.
recognized as a CMO because they do not qualify as a CMO.
This is pretty
I
straightforward,
That is
agree
not the
with
case.
you,
That is not the
Adeayo.
case.
This is
Again,
pretty
you do not
straightforward,
understand
guys.
what
Come
you are
on,
saying.
man.
That is not the case.
That's not
the case.
not
Let me
it.
explain it. That's not the case. The case is the
Okay,
case is
now.
Just say you guys love
let
your
me-
labels and it's fine. And I'm
No,
happy.
let
I'm
me
happy that the
explain.
labels
No.
are lobbying.
Let me explain.
Hey,
Let me explain.
listen.
Let me
Get
explain.
get the CMO
I
done.
dropped-
Just
I'm here
MC,
to
lobby
just-
to
Although I get
MCC.
I'm
questions.
here to
No,
put
you
the
don't
facts
explain,
down,
Taya.
and
Sorry,
whatever
Adeayo,
deduction
please.
anyone choose to draw from that, either I'm in bed with the label or not, I don't care less.
Yeah,
But
bro,
I'm
I
just
don't
here
think-
to put the
yeah.
facts down. So the fact is that
Mhm.
who is a CMO? You can call yourself a CMO, but if you are not recognized by the NCC as a CMO, you are not a CMO.
Right.
In Nigeria, we only have one CMO as far as the law is concerned. Simple. Coson, for all intent and purposes, are a
And I
CMO.
agree with
Wait,
you.
Sorry,
let me finish.
MCSN, you mean?
Let me finish. The
Yes.
Coson is called Copyright Society of Nigeria. They organize themselves as a CMO, but the NCC doesn't recognize them as such. It only recognizes MCSN.
Right.
So as far as CMO goes in Nigeria, there's only one. So you cannot call
Relp.
RELP a CMO, and even if RELP proceeds to call itself a CMO, it is just
For their
talk,
rights.
It's just theory. It is
Yeah.
just
Okay,
it is just
okay.
in theory. Wait,
Adeayo,
I'm not done.
Adeayo.
I'm
No,
not
no,
done.
no,
Wait,
no,
I'm
no.
not done.
Wait.
Before
Let
you
me finish.
finish.
This is the last thing I'm going to say. Let me finish. So now, the question is, does not being a CMO prejudices RELP from receiving this private collection levy on behalf of its rights members? The answer is no. By virtue of Section 89, subsection 3 of the Copyright Act, it provides that people who are duly organized and represent their right members can receive
Can
this
still
money
do
That's
on their
it.
behalf.
And
That's
I
it.
heard all
That's
of
That's
that.
it. That's it, man.
Okay,
It's
simple.
not
lovely.
complicated
So I don't
at
let's
all.
not module everything up
Lovely,
and
Adeayo.
yeah.
And I agree with you. The first thing you said, there's only one CMO that is recognized.
Right.
Yes, and that CMO is MCSN. Lovely. Even Copyright Society of Nigeria is not recognized. Lovely. I agree with that. What I am saying to you is not that RELP is a CMO. That is not what I am saying to you. And I need you to understand that.
But you
that
said
is
they're
not
going
what
through
I'm
corners.
saying.
What corners?
What I am saying when I say going through corners is essentially, yes, I am not even talking about what Nigerian law recognizes as a collecting or whatever, or saying they are duly organized so they can collect for their members. That is not what I am saying. What I am saying is that Nigeria as a country has decided to recognize only MCSN. So what has to happen for every other person. And this is the reason why I'm speaking like this, is because we have established that we all know that we are in a society that is fully corrupt. So we know the happenings of MCSN. We have had these conversations
Yeah,
about
we have.
Koson before,
We have. Yes.
right? So my point essentially is that what happens in a society like Nigeria is that we do this thing, and this is not me speaking about Relpis and collective. I'm not even calling them a CMO. What I am saying is that what we do in Nigeria is we don't find solution to fix something the right way. We find solution to make something adaptable. So they say, oh, you can't do XY, we won't give you light. All of a sudden now we are the best at generator and substituting power in
Solar.
all of a sudden we are now the number one country for solar. What we do is that we essentially live in a society that provides us the opportunity to just jump on shortcuts. So when I say CMO, I am not calling them a legal CMO. I am not saying Relp is doing the duty or is becoming a CMO, or they want to become a CMO. What I mean by cutting corners is that they are essentially coming in as an organization that would then do, in a proper world, if all things were considered, they would now be doing what a regular CMO is meant to be doing in the first place. But now they are not doing it as a CMO, they are doing it for their members. So in other words, they are doing the work that a CMO in a proper country is meant to be doing, but they are doing it for their own members.
And this is
so
what
that does not make them, and I am not saying that makes them a CMO.
But you understand why they're doing that, right?
I understand because I literally just talked about the corruption. I understand why they are doing it. But I am saying that just because I understand why they are doing it does not mean that if it does not quack like a duck but look
Belema, goodness gracious.
Sorry,
Belema.
can I just say something?
Belema, you did point out an issue
You've
here.
said a lot, but I still do not understand the particular. You said okay, they've cut the corners and they've not hit the
It's
nail on
because
the
it's
head,
for their own self-interest. It's not.
No, because they have literally
business.
No.
But there's something under the Nigerian under chapter
just
4
because the law allows it does not mean.
And wait, can I just say something? Because I've been waiting.
No, what they're doing is not. Sorry, what they're doing doesn't even seem unfair.
Number one, on chapter 4 of Nigerian Constitution, there's something called freedom of association. That's why you're allowed to opt out of things if you don't feel it serves, if it don't serve your
that it serves you, yeah.
Number one, so there's freedom of association. Number two, I also do not understand this point of just because the law allows you to do something means you should do it. I think everyone here who should abreast themselves to a significant extent on the troubles and the workings of MCSN and the inability of the industry to actually replace it with a more viable society.
Wait, I have a question. Can I just say something? Can I just say something? Please, I've been waiting.
Sorry.
I want Naye to
so
talk,
sorry.
I also want Adele.
No, but Belema, I have a question for you, Belema.
You have a question
I'm trying to explain this issue because
you don't need to explain it.
No, but you've explained it.
No, but it seems you guys don't get it though.
Sorry, wait. It's about what you're drawing out from what you have said. You've explained it and we understand. We understand the dynamic, but what we're drawing out, and I feel like this is where the notion of, but correct me if I'm wrong, of cutting corners is that, okay, if you're going to do this, that means, Shebi, you said Empire are not part of this thing, or other labels are not part of these things, right?
Yes.
Them two should also, what part of association they're part of or anything like that, or
I don't even think they should.
This is what I'm saying. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, it's whether RelP can participate is ultimately subject to Nigerian law. And yes, you have interpreted it Adeayo, but someone in the courts can also interpret it that, but so and so, that's just based on court.
No, you have not made any point. You just been saying
Let her land.
Wait, don't say I've not made a point. I've made a point, but you just don't understand. If you don't understand,
can you make it again, please? Pardon me. I don't get it. Please.
Okay, that's what you're supposed to say, not that I'm not making a point. Thank you. So it's what I'm trying to say is that everything that you're saying is, well, based on the law, is based on how, let's say, a regulator interprets and applies that law. That's what you're saying. I understand and I agree with you that they do fall in line. Everyone agrees with you that they fall in line with what Relp can potentially collect money for themselves. We understand that. Everyone agrees. I even agree. I feel like Relp should collect their share. But the thing is that what this can then constitute is about everyone, and I feel like Ropi are asking, not necessarily asking the wrong questions, but I feel like they're directing it into the wrong way, where I feel like their actual what's it called, the actual position should be based on accountability and how to work with MSN or
Okay.
MSCN
Okay,
or
so
whatever that
okay, so
I'll answer
okay.
that now.
where,
Can I
let me
address that?
finish.
Right.
Let me
Okay, not
finish
finished.
to
Okay.
work with them, because basically the Nigerian Nigerian government or whoever the copyright clinical are not going to do it themselves. Like, they clearly favor these people for a reason. So it's about working with these people first, to, if they're the only let's say if we're interpreting it like that, if they're the only interpreted people that are recognized to collect the money, to work with these people to ensure that so and so, and I guess that's what they're asking for. But in terms of, oh, let's just collect our own share, then everyone is to their own, I feel like that doesn't help anyone in the long run.
Okay.
It doesn't create a sustainable environment where music
God will
can
bless you.
thrive and money can be
Now
collected
God will
well.
bless
It's
you.
Okay.
about systems,
Okay.
creating systems, not about only collecting your own and leaving it. Exactly what thank God Belema used the example of generator and light. You're not solving a problem, you're just collecting your own. So who is this actually benefiting? Because from where I'm standing, it's only
Labels.
benefiting the labels, the big dogs. So what about the
Okay.
little, and
That
most
was my
artists in
point.
Nigeria,
And
Oh,
that
wait,
most
wait,
artists in
come to
Nigeria,
Nigeria.
most
wait.
artists
Okay.
in Nigeria are
Okay,
independent.
okay.
So who's representing them?
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. The
oh, my
point.
sister,
Um.
they're going to
Um.
shake the
Um.
table.
Yeah.
Um.
Yes.
Um.
Yes.
Okay.
I did want to respond to
Though,
that.
though
I
I do
can.
understand the
I can
thing of
address
Royal
this
Robbie,
now.
though.
I can
We can
address this
address
now.
this now.
So
Yes.
so to
Because
start with,
and Adeayo,
Because I basically asked the same question earlier, but yes.
yeah, and Adeayo, and this, as you are about to answer this one now, I want you to understand that all the things you explained, we agree with you. Even me,
I'm not.
I understand I
I'm
understand
not
the
trying
purpose of
to.
RELP.
I'm not trying
What me I am saying, and this is an add-on to what Naye said. What me I am saying is that am seeing this as a shortcut solution to the problem, not an actual solve of the problem. And the reason
Okay.
why I specifically
Right.
said this is because we have two types of people, especially when it comes to politics, right? You have the politicians that say, oh, I'm going to get into politics because I hate what is going on. I'm going to go in there and change it from the inside. And that is how you end up with somebody like Desmond Elliott. Then you have the people that say, this politics is not working for me. I am going to go and create my own. And then that's how you end up in a situation where you have somebody that is like Peter Obi, that is in multiple different organizations trying to find the one that will work. I am not saying that RELP is bad. I need you to understand that, because I think that's what
I don't
you're
know.
taking
This.
away from
I
this.
think you.
I
I think
think
you.
they are great.
Just
I
finish
think
though.
RELP is important, but I think it is not a solution to the problem. I think it
Okay.
is a shortcut to the problem.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
is what my point is.
It's the,
Please.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. I think.
Right.
So first of all, to start with the solution to a problem, to an industry-wide problem, needs an industry-wide, like an industry-wide problem needs an industry-wide solution. Number one question is it possible to have an industry-wide solution? Now, there's always going to be the freedom of association. If record labels come together and form an organization to protect their interests, you are always welcome to be a part of them. Should you be willing to do that? Should you not be willing to do that, you have to know
Even
that
indeed.
the direct implication is that you are going to be under the legislation of and the jurisdiction of MCSN. Simple. At least if you choose to not be part of these people. Now, to the matter of RLP taking a shortcut, I think this is trying to position, or not necessarily position them, to put a responsibility on them that is not their responsibility, so to say. So, number one, the idea that MCSN can be engaged with and there can be a middle ground where things are possible, I do not see a pathway to that, except someone who is notoriously unfamiliar with the workings of these people. For years they have been run the same way, opaque, non-transparent, and people who are funding the current state of the industry are saying that we do not want to be a party to that anymore. The question of the interest of smaller artists and something industry-wide interest, to be brutally honest, at the risk of being sounding very callous, I genuinely do not think it is real peace bloody business. I'm sorry. I'm like
yeah.
It is very clear.
Bam.
It is very clear.
It's a private situation.
It is not.
And that's
That's his own point.
Let me finish.
That is my point.
Let me finish. Now, it is not real peace business to say, okay, what's the fate of this thing? I think you need to look at real peace constitution for the intent and spirit of what it is. It is the group of record label that has come together with a significant market share to guarantee its interest. It's interesting. The fact that you are finding responsibility left and right to attach to what they are trying to do is on you. That's number one. Number two,
I agree.
Number two, if other people within the ecosystem are so moved to say that, okay, we want a system that works, they can partner with a particular umbrella. RLP has done one. If you think that, okay, these people are progressive enough, go and be part of them. They're under the chapter 4 of the Constitution. There's freedom of association. You can associate.
You know what's so funny?
I personally feel like
what's so funny at the end?
Wait, let me finish.
Wait, let him finish, Belema.
Finish,
man.
Let me finish.
And please,
Now,
we need
so
to move
you
on.
can choose to say, okay, let me be part of this progressive change, so to say. You understand? Let me be part of this wave of change that is trying to, quote and unquote, take
Fix the
power
problem.
from SCSM. Because at the end of the day, the bigger you are, the more lobbying power you have, the more you cannot be ignored.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have to appreciate, again, as I'm saying, you guys have to appreciate the magnitude of the party in front of
initiative.
them.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the people who are in this place. They are arguably the biggest record labels within the continent and the world. The only people missing as far as it's Empire and Dapper. And still look at the lack of engagement, the lack of care, the lack of interest, the total lack of interest the NCNC is displaying towards these people. You understand? So if the powerful players, the powers that be, so to say, are unable to even change MCS and they are going to come and say, okay, we don't even want to be part of these people, we are exercising our rights to opt out and also organizing ourselves into an organization that can collect something for our members, and they are still faced with this brick wall. You have to appreciate that it is a big matter. So number one, if at all RLP is going to get to the point where they can now guarantee industry-wide interest, they have to first of all win this battle. As far as I'm concerned, that's my own opinion. They have to first of all win this battle, and then
so they are fighting a battle to prepare for it.
No, I
don't agree.
Other people can wait. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Let's
Other
finish,
people
please.
can then choose to come and become a part of them. And again, just to round up, right? The matter of that, okay, because again, the solution that is being proffered, from what I have heard, and maybe in case I misheard, apologies, but from what you people have said, Nai, Belima, from what you said, I think you said that the solution is not for a group of people to organize themselves and fight for their own interests, which is funny because this is at the end of the day, is a business interest for this group of people who understand that for them to secure their interest, they have to move alone rather than fight for an uninteresting and all, like it's fighting for people, a larger audience that might not necessarily care. So that's it.
No, but then why? But then why are you
Real
guys paying attention?
Real quick.
The industry is about to lose billions.
Sorry,
don't scaremonger people. My thing is, sorry, hold on, Bellama. Sorry, quickly. I feel like they're scaremongering with this thread. Sorry, just to say, they're scaremongering as if it's going to affect everybody in the industry. That's why I'm saying, okay, one thing or another. I'm not saying that.
No.
Wait, hold on. Sorry,
Yeah,
let me just quickly just land this point.
All right, we need to get
the approach of like what you've just said now, because I feel like you've low key changed your tune, but the approach that you've let's say when you guys guys made this tweets in the afternoon or morning came with was like, the industry's about to lose billions. Like, y'all stealing our money, which is correct, but they have been losing billions. But my thing is that, okay, if they're going to do this and you want the voices of many people, because I'm guessing the reason why you brought it to the attention of everyone else is because you wanted a collective voice, right? So ensure that the collective are also beneficiaries of what you're doing. You can't have,
So,
you can't
and
want
this
a
is where
collective
you
voice.
get it
Also,
fundamentally
also,
wrong.
also,
Because
wait,
it is a trade
We're gonna keep
organization
going.
that
We're gonna be
everyone
going in
has the
circles.
option
No, no,
to
no.
be a part of. You
Listen,
cannot force
listen,
the
it's a
collective.
love
Listen
that.
to me.
We're
Listen,
Listen to me.
see,
You cannot
Bel-
listen to me.
Belema.
You cannot
I am
force
so
the
sorry
collective.
because
Listen
we're
to
gonna
me.
keep going.
Belema,
in
wait,
circles.
Belema,
Let me
wait.
finish my. Let me
Belema,
finish my
please.
point.
Guys,
Wait
guys,
about-
guys, guys,
Let
guys,
me
guys,
finish my
guys.
point. Let me finish my point.
Guys,
Let me
real
finish
quick,
my
let's
point,
finish
and
the
I can
point
leave
and then
space
we'll
for you.
move on.
Let me
We'll move
finish
on.
my
No, I
point.
don't, please.
Now,
Sorry.
the idea that they are trying to spotlight on this issue so it can benefit the wider industry is true. At the same time, if the larger industry is to benefit from this, they have to be a part of it.
Yes,
It's as
but
simple as that.
it's-
If you are so okay, like if you people, if there are people, if at all, there are individuals who look at the list of LP, like the list of labels, they and feel the need that we are not, our rights are not being guaranteed yet. You are not being mandated to speak up, because
Right.
at the end of the day, this is not necessarily a fight marked as an industry fight. It is at the end of the day, there's going to be a way it's going to translate into something better for the industry if they win. But as it is, there is a group of people fighting for their right.
I
In as
agree.
much as you do not consider it the industry, the people you are looking at on that list are indeed, for all intent and purposes, the industry,
man.
because the music will be telling, and there's going to be a significant downturn in capital and in the functionality of Nigerian music if those people do not exist. So that is the
Okay.
point that is being
Thank you,
neglected.
thank you,
Okay.
thank you, thank you,
Can
thank
I
you,
say
thank you, thank you,
something?
thank you, guys.
I'm so sorry,
Belema,
'cause we're gonna
Belema.
end this here.
Belema,
No, we're gonna
please.
end this here. But
Dr.
I need to
Roman,
make
Dr.
this
Roman
clear,
has had his hand up.
because I know Dr. Roman has had his hand up, but
Harvey has
some
had his
people
hand
have
up.
their hand up. And I want to say this because I want this to be clear, because this is what I do not want is misinterpretation of words. One thing I have not done in this entire conversation is propose a solution. One thing I have.
I was
the
going to
second
ask
thing
you.
have-
I was going to ask you. That was my question for
and
you.
And I know that's the question, because that's the question you were about to ask. I have not at one point in any of the part of this conversation proposed a solution. The second thing I have not done is said that RELP is a bad solution. What I have said is that RELP is an interesting approach to a solution. That is the only thing I have said. So I want that to be clear, because
okay.
Adria said,
All right.
well, what you're saying.
No, but
is
the
that,
energy
people-
towards
no, no,
RLP seemed very.
No, the energy.
You said they're going to the corners,
because
Belema.
it's a serious conversation.
But you said
What
they're
I
going to the
said is
corner.
that what I said was very
To
clear.
fight for their own rights? Going through the corners?
Yeah, that is what I said. Is
Okay,
that
real quick.
It is giving. Oh, I am going to fight for the rights.
Yeah,
But just to be clear, I'm only fighting for the rights of the people that are under me.
But Belema, it's a
And
trade. It's a
the opening
trade
part
association.
to it-
It's
The
open.
opening part to it is.
It's not a
if
closed
you now
room.
want to join me?
Belema, the door is
you can
open.
join
Is the point? The door is open. Is the point?
And I just said it's an interesting approach to
Yeah.
the solution. I didn't even say it was a bad solution. I just said it is an interesting.
Yeah, but you're making it seem like it's this closed door solution that is only favoring those guys. When he's trying to explain the
if
point
you're
that
not a member,
it's
then
a
it's
trade
not
association. It's a trade association
If
which
you're
is
not a
open.
member is not favoring.
Belema, any record label can join their entity and makes them even stronger and makes them
Love
makes them
that, but
achieve
if you're not
even
a
more
member,
collective
it's not
goal.
favoring you.
Anyway,
I agree.
the door is
It's not
open. Is the
favoring
point?
you.
And the thing we're trying to push back on, it doesn't. I understand the pushback,
You're
but
focusing so much on me saying that it is not favoring you if you
Yeah,
are not a
but-
member. And you keep telling me the door is open. Okay, the door is open. Do you know how many doors are open and people don't walk in?
okay. Can we just move the conversation to new speakers real quick before we move on? Because
Anyway, that was my point. I
Yes,
just wanted
yeah,
at the
but
end
my
to
point
declare
taken.
that I never proposed this
Right,
solution.
point
I just thought
taken.
it was an interesting approach.
point taken real quick. Harvey and Dr. Roman. Dr. Roman, real quick. Please have whichever points that you want to have, and please, I don't want them to be interrupted to drag this any longer. So please.
Yeah, but Emmanuel, you didn't give us enough time to speak. You spent all
Why?
the
Yeah,
time
you
on
interrupted me.
No.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Everybody had points to make. They made it and they were responded to. You had the chance to. You're not going to represent what I just did right now, bro. Please. Saying you did, I didn't allow you to speak. Come on.
You guys don't stress out.
Let me guess. No,
Please, Dr. Roman and then Harvey, real quick. No interruptions, please. Because I swear I'll good like niggas, man. I swear I will. I don't want to, but please, let's not drag this.
I'm stressed out. You maybe should stop stressing.
Let me gaslight you.
I've been putting it together, man. I've been holding it together. Miss, please, Dr. Roman.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman Emmanuel. Good evening to the panel of judges.
Good evening.
Belema, El, and Adeayo, my co-debater, Nae, and the accurate timekeeper, whoever the hell that is.
Maybe that's.
Okay, so I think from what's been explained or described by the law, RELP does fit the criteria and it does work. I think where there's a little bit of dissonance is the definitions for things aren't exactly clear. At least to me anyways, I've just got a few like clarifying questions. And I want to be careful not to like superimpose, say, British arrangements or law on what the Nigerian system is. Because I think there's a little bit of that happening as well.
Right.
So the private copy levy itself is a levy that's collected on devices that can be used to reproduce either digitally or physically music. Is that right?
Right.
I'm asking, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That's the...
Okay, cool. And it's serving as a proxy for collecting money on the reproduction of those pieces of work.
Yep, it's a blanket license. Physically. It's a blanket license, basically.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Fine. Now, that is effectively the definition of a mechanical royalty.
Yep, correct.
Mechanical royalties are paid to publishers and composers. And I think where the dissonance is coming is...
Wait, is that correct?
That there is...
Mechanical?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, mechanical royalties.
It's not performance royalties.
So performance royalties and mechanical royalties are paid to publishing rights holders, which are publishers and composers. Master rights holders collect digital performance royalties from like streaming and master recording revenue. So here's what I mean. If I take a song and I print it onto a CD,
correct,
reproducing it into a CD pays a mechanical royalty to the composer. When I sell that CD, the sale of that CD gets paid to the master right holders.
Yes. Okay.
I think the problem is that you're having an organization of master rights holders advocating to collect money that is a mechanical royalty that is meant to be paid to publishers and composers. I think that's where the dissonance is coming for people like El or Belema, where they're asking, okay, but what if
I don't. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna pause you on that. All right, because the letter that Relpi wrote, they're only advocating for the sound recording, so it's like essentially just the mechanical.
Right. Okay.
So they're not trying to go for performance based on the letter at least.
Yeah, but I'm asking, mechanical royalties in and of themselves are paid to publishers. It's master recording revenue that's paid to master rights holders. So like if you're I don't know, registered with the MLC in the US, for instance, it's composers that do that, and the MLC is the Mechanical Licensing Corporation.
Okay.
And that's my question, is this a pure mechanical royalty? Or is it a master recording royalty? If it's a master recording thing, then I can understand how RELP kind of advocates and like organizes
it would seem, and again, I'm going through the letter again just to find the right letter.
Okay.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what the private copy levy thing is, I think is where the dissonance is. Like, what exactly is it? a
Is it
mechanical
a
royalty that's paid to publishers, or is it master recording revenue that's made in sales?
Right.
Because
So
there's no such thing as, how do I phrase this? Every writer, every composer is published, whether or not they belong to a PRO or not. There's no such thing as an unpublished writer. Like, you're self-published.
right.
But if this money doesn't eventually get to, if it is a mechanical royalty, if it doesn't eventually get to composers and writers, that's where the problem is. And I think the fear is that, assuming it's a mechanical royalty paid to publishers, if a corporation of master rights holders are advocating for this money and they get paid it, as I think by law they will be, does that money eventually get to the composers, and how?
Right.
And I think
Can I-
we're looking for ideal kind of solutions. Now, I personally think that RelP is a much better option as things stand right now.
Anything,
to
almost
NCSN or
anything is better
Croson.
than MCSN. That's the situation.
Yeah,
on the ground.
so I think
anything is better than
Almost. I
MCSN.
said
so
almost.
I think it will be progress if they eventually collect said monies. But I think what needs to happen at some point is that it needs to be clearly defined as, is
Right.
this a mechanical royalty paid to publishing rights holders, which is publishers and
Right.
composers,
Right.
or is this a royalty made from the sale of that recording? I.e., is this money generated from reproducing the work, or is it generated from the sale of the reproduced work? And I think, unfortunately, because of how the money is collected, in that it's charged on the devices itself,
Mhm.
as opposed to the sale of the work, it's hard to say if this money is being generated from selling that piece of work,
But okay, so
or from simply reproducing it.
the objective of the levy system is to basically subsidize the inevitable, right? That they would
Yeah, and that's the big problem, I guess. The fact that effectively the piracy is going to
piracy
happen.
is going to happen.
And
That's yes.
Yeah, and we are trying to find ways to collect money that the piracy kind of robs the industry of.
Right. I think it
And I
makes
think the greater philosophical problem is that because we're collecting the money this way, we can't say definitively if this money is money that's made from the sale of that work, or from simply reproducing it.
yeah.
I.e., is this money that's meant to go to people who own master rights, or the people who made the stuff that gets
Right.
reproduced?
Right.
Now, typically, the master royalties are calculated as at 10 to 20% of the master recording revenue. So what would happen in like most countries is that when that work gets sold in like CDs or digital sales, about 10 to 20% is assumed to have come from the reproduction, and that money goes to mechanical royalties, and say the MLC in the US will collect that money for composers. So if that ends up being the situation here, this organization of master rights holders would then have to decide what percentage of that money that they eventually collect
Right.
gets given to a mechanical royalty collecting organization that pays composers and writers.
Right. And I think that's
But the
part
fear
of the
is
problem.
that because
Yeah.
I think the fear is that because this body is simply constituted of master rights holders, that 10 to 20% will never get to those people.
to the
And what
songwriters.
Elle's saying is that at some point in 10, 15 years, she's worried that
Sooner.
those people would then pop up and say, hey, you guys have been collecting this money, but the mechanical royalty portion of this master recording revenue has never actually gotten anywhere. And we might be on a space like this again, where the top 15 artists then form their own organization
Right.
and are advocating for things like this.
I think yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think realistically, things need to happen kind of one step at a time. And this is not a perfect solution, but I think it's a workable solution.
Right.
And for that reason, it does deserve some support. But at some point, the conversation needs to be had as to, from all of this money, how much of it gets dedicated to mechanical royalties? And how do we create the system for composers and writers to get paid their mechanical royalties, and that's why people are suggesting,
Great.
why not form another CMO and things of that nature. But it would have to be those rights holders, so publishers and composers that organize and
That
create that
organize
thing,
themselves, yes,
and
yes.
then advocate
And then
to
advocate
That's
for the
what
these
I was
publishers.
guys
trying to
Yes,
say.
and
yes.
Everyone
say,
should have a seat
okay,
at the
you guys can
table.
collect this money, but you need to make sure that 10 to 20, 25%, whatever the case is, gets to these people as well. But those people have to take the initiative to make that argument. I don't think they can or should expect that people with business interest and master rights holders would simply
We'll just sit down and
decide
do
Do the
out of the
nothing.
right thing.
generosity
Yeah.
of their heart to
Yeah. Do the
give
right
them
thing.
that.
I hadn't proposed the solution before, but if in an ideal world it would be like throw everything away and start afresh from the very bottom to the top. But we can't do that. That's not the society we live in. That's not the reality of what things are. And so that is why I personally support what RelP is doing. I just thought like,
but yeah,
wow.
just to back Adeayo, he's been in the firing line of everybody, and I think he does deserve some credit for the work that he's doing. I wouldn't envy being in his position. I think being a journalist covering the two most organized parts of Nigeria,
That's our
right,
dog, man.
is so yeah. Shout out to him and the work he's doing, and it is a step forward in the right direction.
To read it for you.
Yeah.
The answer to your question.
Yes. So yes, Adeayo. Yes.
In the letter.
Yes, in the letter, please.
Sorry, can I say something before you guys go on? Because first off, this shouldn't be as confusing as I thought it is. So my head is banging right now. No vex. First, so I think the point I made about CMO was interesting because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we have any functioning PR in this country.
Wait, sorry, Dante.
Yeah.
So that we just to keep the right like connection and things. Adeayo wants to clarify what Dr. Roman just said, please, so we can.
Yes.
We'll continue. Sorry. That
you have a very salient question on the distinguishing, like the differentiation between the rights and what should go to which. So I don't know if you have a copy of the letter the RelP wrote to NCC, and if you don't have it, I would advise you.
I pinned it to the.
It's on the space.
If you check the second paragraph, you see where it clearly stipulates that. I'll just like paraphrase where it said, including the establishment of shares among the relevant classes of rights. So that answer relevant classes of rights and the distribution of the levies. So it's a case of. So that's why this matter is such a tedious, elaborate matter that the NCC actually needs to engage with everybody, like with global standard practice, in distinguishing between the classes of rights. Understand what goes to the label, what goes to the artist, what percentage goes to the label, which is the masters. So for RelP now, they are fighting for their own share, which is the record labels. The record labels are fighting for their master's share.
That's how I took it.
You understand? So they're saying that's why
for performance there's two shares inside, and that's what Dr. Roman was trying to explain.
Right. So
there's
that means no one's trying to get the mechanical
What we had to do
thing
recently, a few years ago, is they had to create a completely, I say a few years ago, but over 10 years ago, they had to create a completely different entity so it could collect the PPR and PRS side. I don't know if you know that. So it was like, instead of them being separate, they had to create it for these specific problems. When the digital age came and people could start using things on their, like copying stuff on their phones, it is literally the same thing. So that's kind of, I think we're still saying the same thing. Adaya, you're still kind of saying the same thing ish, but there still needs to be a separation. There still needs to be a separation of where the rights go.
Sorry, Dr. Roman. Sorry, you're talking over L right now.
I apologize.
I have a solution, but I'll still wait because I know people have what they want to say, but I have the solution in my opinion. But,
okay, so I think as Adaya responded to Dr. Roman's question.
He said,
I think you again is asking of whether like if the labels themselves are going to take what belongs to the artist in terms of the mechanical royalties, because they only own, like they are supposed to collect performance like once accrues to the masters, and that's why like their debate is for the NCC to determine what shares is accruing to each right.
Right.
What shares
I think that's what they're requesting. Yeah, they're requesting for a determinant of rates. Yeah.
Where they say establishment of the shares among the relevant classes of rights, because again, as at with this levy, there are different relevant classes of rights, and again, that's why I don't want to like go down to to the root of this matter, but we're having a conversation today with some of the lawyers from RLP, who from Paneka Legal, and they talk about how MCSN doesn't actually have the power to receive master's royalty for labels, and they have been receiving it consistently for years.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
What? Say
the
that
only
again.
Plot thickens as usual.
Wait, say that
MCSN.
again.
What?
Sorry.
Sorry.
the Nigeria, the NCC gave, like erroneously so, gave MCSN the right to
Masters
receive all
right
To
classes
collection.
collect
of
from the label.
all
Yeah.
classes of royalties and levies when MCSN organized itself as a collection societies for
For
publishing.
For
publishing.
publishing.
Yeah.
For
That is
publishing.
why I said
And the
That's why
technical
I'm
and
before I hear a
that's why
mechanical.
to
solution.
get to the root of what RLP is saying, it is that first of all, the classes of right must be expressly
Must be defined.
distinguished.
Yeah.
And when it is identifiable, if you are able to lay your hands on the letter written by IFPI, it says they advise the NCC that first of all, post payment, clearly identify the money accrued to the music industry from this levy. Number one. Number two, identify the classes, which is straightforward publishing, the publishing and masters. Now then, identify what goes to who. So in this case, if they actually proceed and do all this, they'll be able to tell this is what expressly goes to the label. That's why if you see how the label has been complaining, if you read the MCSN letter, and I'm going to also send a document to Ima, which
Yeah.
is the MCSN, the Real Peace legal position, where they argue that this money accruing to the label is what is used to finance their operation. And in terms of talent development, marketing, and creating music, that's to show that it is not them saying this is the money we want to pay to our artists or whatever. It's right again. If it's distinguished as such, it is money owed to them. So at the end of the day, right, the only way forward is for the matter to be dissected in a way where each what is belonging to who is determined, and each person gets its
And each
its
person
due.
gets their own.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think Adelia, that's very true, and that's very 100%. I think it's just all about how you choose to go about it, right? So right now, RLP is like saying, okay, whoever wants to be a member can be a member. We are going to fight for our members to get theirs. Lovely. But then there's me who is like, just throw everything away and start.
All right.
putting-
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Adeayo,
All
can I
right.
just say one thing, if that's
So
okay? I'm really sorry. I apologize for not reading that letter. I think
Yeah,
that
I
makes
think
a lot of sense. And I think if you'd led with letting us know that from the beginning, MCSN was collecting money that didn't belong to it. So, like, from the ground zero, everything don't spoil, to be fair. Like,
Yeah,
it
because
then
I
makes
didn't hear
sense.
the master's
That doesn't
part.
belong to it for like 30 years.
Then
I didn't agree with that because
everything then
I
makes
thought it was
sense
like
as
a
to
notorious
why
fact.
the master
30
rights
years.
holders will say, do you know what, we're done with this. We need to define everything properly. And I think hopefully after things have been defined, then everyone can move forward in like a much more
Yeah, man.
organized manner.
Yeah.
And RELP is at the forefront of the fight to get clarity regarding defining what rights are generated where and belong to whom. Because
Right.
it appears that that definition isn't even there to begin with in the
Right.
industry. So people will constantly be fighting over money until we're clear as to who gets what money and where does it come from. So
Okay.
yeah, thanks for the clarity. And again, we appreciate the work you do.
Again, appreciate everyone that's been able to add to the conversation. I am so sorry, guys. I don't think we can spend any more time. I don't think we're spending more
There's
time.
something
Wednesday,
Dr.
7
Roman
p.m. I am
mentioned.
gonna dissect. This is just my
Dr.
kind of
Roman
thing.
mentioned something about
No,
the
it's really
the mechanical rights and the
Harvey
performance
was
rights.
also going to say something, right?
Yeah, but it's just a very short thing. We can even do a back and forth with someone. First of all, it's like we need to establish what a PRO does and a CMO does. If everybody knows that, based on what,
They're the same thing.
not necessarily performance rights is only collected by what I think CMO covers both mechanical and the performance rights. So the if the law is positioning itself that the CMO, which is this body that we don't agree with, then that means they are able to collect whatever the CMO is able to collect. And if RLP comes in and says we meet the parameters of what the CMO is, it then means that what they are fighting for is like 100%. I don't know if like what I'm saying makes
No,
sense. Like,
what you're saying makes sense up
so
until the point. Up until the point where you say they are doing the work of the CMO, or that, because that's exactly what I was getting at. That
no,
AIO
like,
was pushing
yeah,
at.
but that's different. Like, I think where you guys were disagreeing was the fact that if you're going to do a CMO's job, then just be a CMO, right? So these people are saying we are not a CMO if you're looking from the lens of the laws in so country and this other country. But if you are looking at it from the lens of Nigeria, we can do the job because we meet the criteria.
All right, at this point, guys, at
I
this
think,
at this
I think
point,
I should come in here.
yeah,
Can you guys hear me? Actually,
At
yeah,
this
all right.
point, seeing you in court. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Wonderful. I mean, first of all, man, this is 6:55, almost 2 hours on this topic. That's crazy, man. Shout out to everyone in this space. I have, what's it called? Consumed a lot of knowledge as usual. To pick up right off where Dante left it off, I don't think they're stepping in to say that we can do the job or we meet the criteria. I think they're stepping in to say by law we can actually do this. Like, this is our right to do by law.
Right.
Now, there's something I wish that we did in this conversation the entire time, because 2 hours is a long time and we can't go back and change how the conversation has gone. I wish we focused or fixated on the context that it's a Nigerian context. It's unfortunate that we didn't do that, because a lot of these things we're saying that it's possible, that's right, it would work in the UK, work in the US, work in Europe. But when you enter Nigeria, man,
This government.
I just need to have a word with the angel that sent me here.
That's why I said I don't think we have a PRO here.
Yeah, we don't. We don't. Like, if you know what I'm trying to do
SA
now,
has a PRO, we don't.
MCSN is your PRO.
MCSN is basically doing the same thing.
MCSN is your everything that has to do with whatever money you are making in Nigeria.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Anything that's with creative work, so that's what's even crazy to a certain degree. Not just, anyways. Before we delve further into explanation of what I spent a lot of time explaining to us, it's very painful that we have gone down this rabbit hole, having a conversation in an ideal situation. The Nigerian situation, unfortunately, is a situation where you can't fight for all. It's never been possible. It's never, like, in fact, what might end up happening is factions will form that don't exist, because people in the MCSC would probably create those factions to destabilize the argument that what's it called? What's the name again? Some of these guys that are fighting, RELP are trying to fight for right now. They're going to try to see, it's going to feel like the NURTW fights now, in 2 seconds. I just hope that RLP know what they're doing and they have the powers that be, or they have the backing to actually go to war with these guys, because it's about to get real nasty. If they can sort it out, I'll be very happy for them. Unfortunately, the conversation of fighting for everyone and having a solution that blankets everybody has to come later. That's how I see it.
All right.
I just, like I said, wish that we had the conversation.
I hear that. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Judiciary for me, though.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Sorry, hey, 2 hours. You said it. We need to move on. Yes. Go ahead, real quick. Make it snappy.
I don't think they really believe in the judiciary, because if they did, they probably would have gone, fragmented. I think the fact that they came together and they've got different types of backing, they've got different types of connects, I think they actually are trying to pull strings as well. I just hope, I'm not very religious, but I'm praying for them. I'm praying for them. But Ima, thank you very much for letting me have the last word.
Appreciate everybody on this particular topic. Appreciate Dario for taking time as well, for coming with the work that he's doing, honestly. I appreciate you trying to get some results, or at least get every answer from every angle of this story. So appreciate what's to come, because I know you mentioned you're going to those offices to get some answers. So appreciate you again. Appreciate El and Naye for the pushback, and Bilema as well, and everything's obviously drew some much needed fact and knowledge out of the topic. So I appreciate that. As people were fighting for their rights clearly on this week, others were fighting for their legacy. Earlier, we had Fela come into discussion, or our comparison with my goats, my meme, everybody's meme, Wizkid. It's been going for quite a long time. All right, we addressed this last week. Just faintly. I think we just addressed it faintly. Like this is not a big topic. This is nothing we can actually address and hold weight. As a discussion to be had. But Uncle Sean thought otherwise. Uncle Sean thought it was worth a topic to drag for close to 6 days. And by that nature of dragging the topic, Wizkid had time. Wizkid had time, even though he was about to get into a release of an EP that we're going to get to later tonight. Wizkid had time for him, got to the Snapchat, or in this case, Instagram stories, to basically respond to everything that has been said from Seun Kuti. Now, I think it's fair to summarize Seun Kuti's stance as, this is not just an FC position that Wizkid is greater than Fela. He believes that it's coming from the top. He is convinced that this narrative or this rhetoric is coming from the top, or at least he has equated, or maybe he has equated Wizkid's quote-unquote silence earlier to see it as an endorsement of the position that Wizkid is greater than Fela. Personally, I do not believe Wizkid believes that. I don't think Wizkid actually is walking around saying, I am greater than Fela, or if people say that, I am very certain he will shut that shit down. Like anybody with an IQ of a room temperature would understand. And I don't think, and for Sean to at least to come with this conspiratorial mindset that Wizkid is actually pushing for this, he obviously pushed and backed Wizkid to the corner that he has to defend himself and basically just respond in a way to say, yes, I'm bigger than him, and then what? Basically just to square up, because it definitely crossed a few lines that frankly should not be getting towards Wizkid. It wasn't him that came up with the statement. It wasn't him that was trying to make that a thing. This man has started Fela on I don't know where it was, his arm or somewhere. He has started with Fela. He has exalted Fela. Even his very recent documentary made a whole point of connecting his influence to Fela, and I just felt like it's become such an ugly space now, where we have aunties on TV news or TVC news now giving takes and now saying Wizkid is a rude boy. He's very this matter. Bro, it was so stressful witnessing all this happening, back and forth, man. But anyway, man, I just wanted to open the floor up to you guys, man. How do you see the situation now? Because I also want to open up to new speakers, by the way. Okay, but I want to hear from people.
Okay, just very quickly, because I don't have a lot to say. But
no.
I'm surprised you're even thinking about this. Naye is coming, and he likes bad PR.
Naye, please. See, Gulag is calling. Gulag is calling. Let me open the floor to people that haven't spoken yet. We have Lumsey, we have Pepe. I'll start with Pepe real quick. What's up? How do you see the situation? What's your own 2 cents?
I honestly wanted Pepe to start this conversation.
Thank you so
as your goat.
I've been the sit-up for any space. CMO, ABC, CTV, Bomba Clots. We'll see, we never talk today. God damn it. See, let me tell you, people already know I have a bias, so please, I'm here to come and defend my guilt. Thanks.
Right.
I think, okay, let me not say I'm here to come and defend my guilt, but this whole Wizkid is a rude boy thing.
Oh, thank you.
Because I think maybe it's because of after Made in Lagos, he started doing nonchalant for you people. It's like people forgot who Wiz really is.
He's rude. Okay, good morning.
His mouth is bad. His mouth is actually bad. I think he went to go and do small PR, small cover up. All of us forgot what this nigga was doing on Twitter for years. His mouth is bad. So if you don't want to go and find his bad mouth, leave him alone. Because truthfully, on one hand, I was like, Wiz, I don't think you need to actually be engaging this whole conversation. Because for me, I was a little bit okay, FC is the one coming up with this narrative, right? But at no point throughout Wiz's career has he ever addressed his stance. You get he's never addressed FC about anything,
right?
So why would this be the one that he will come and do defense league. Oh, don't mention me and Fela. Like this idea of like he doesn't address his fans or his stands about anything beyond like, you know, coming to his shows and doing his music. Like he doesn't come and say, oh, don't put me in this narrative, don't put me in this narrative. Now, whether you think that's the right approach or the wrong approach.
Wait, someone has the floor, please.
Whether you think that's the right approach or wrong approach, right? That's, you know, everybody has their own personal, what's it called? But I'm saying from a Wiz's point of view, he doesn't address his fans about whatever narratives it is that they want to cook up. So it stands to question that if they are coming up with a narrative of putting him and Fela in the same conversation, he's also not going to give that any energy. So if you see that it is his fans that are coming up with this and he's not addressing it, and you feel the need to want to, I guess, preserve the legacy of your father, preserve his legacy. And I think that's fair to want to do, because I think some people have started covering, I've already started hearing some very insane statements over the last week. Things like, oh, you know, Fela was not any better than his peers. I said, okay.
I didn't know Fela until Jaye.
You know, things like that. So I understand the need to want to protect that legacy and protect what he had built, and the rest of the family too is moving forward. But it was the extent at which he was doing it, day in, day out. It can't be like saying only ways where you want to talk about. So on the other hand, I too now also understand why. Okay, it's not like you made one video or you did one live and that was it. This was a constant, topic for quite a while. So I can understand Wiz being like, yo, like, in the words of Willard Carroll Smith, get my name out of your mouth. Like, damn, nigga. Like, there's only so much we can talk about this. So I kind of see both sides. Like, you can't poke at somebody, and not expect them to respond. I would have preferred if he hadn't given it any life. Like, honestly, both as FC is doing his own, and as Sheon is talking his own, just continue to ignore. Because Sheon, for Sheon Kuti, from all I've seen, he has, like, what's it called? Like, I think his heart a lot of the time is in the right place, right? Mm-hmm. Wanting to preserve legacy, wanting to, you know, free Nigerian people from the shackles of their colonial masters and the mindset that has imprinted. I think his heart for a lot of the time is in the right place. His approach to it isn't always correct. So this is not the first time that he's gone on live and misyanned or said something that was like, or tried to poke at somebody or try to rouse. Like, it's not the first time. So I would have preferred if he hadn't. But I also know my goods. And he do usually, like, he has bad mouth. And he said it before that he has bad mouth. So, like, to me, it's not like he's a nothing burger. It's just like, well, I can understand both sides. If there's only so many lives you can do about me, before I'm like, yo, like, what, go on, man. But I would have preferred if he didn't give it any life. I can't come and say that Sheon should not have done what he did. He's trying to protect something, and beyond that, like, this is not out of Sheon's character. Like, this is the person we've known Sheon Kuti to be. So he will address whatever he wants to address with the internet on his Instagram lives, and we will all sit and we watch. Some of it entertaining, some of it not so much. So on both sides, like, this whole thing where people are like, oh, you know, now you should go and address FC. How can they be putting your name in the same conversation with Fela? See, let's all be very truthful. That man has never done it a day in his life where he's saying FC, don't put me. Like, he doesn't address any of that stuff. So I don't know why people expected him to go and be doing it now. Right. Like, if we want to protect legacy, we're going to protect Fela's legacy all on our own. I don't know that Wiz is
and Wizkid has actually done that with his documentary, with his interviews. He has actually,
like, exactly, like.
Yeah, he has made it clear.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's in the he's made it clear, like, the reverence that he has for him and the place that Fela kind of holds in our music industry. But, like, in the idea of, like, narratives from stands or fan bases putting people against each other, like, that's not a thing he's ever addressed before. So, like, I don't know why people expected him to be doing it now because he was Fela. Like, he already has said his own stance on how he feels about Fela. Any other thing other people want to cook up, gotcha. Quite frankly, he has nothing to do with him. Like, I don't know what people want from the man, man. Sorry.
All right. Real quick, I was about to expand the topic a lot more. As our FC correspondent, Pepe, who is the biggest bed?
Who is the biggest bed? Between wow, please. There's only one
There's
bed
only
I
one
know.
bed, you know what I mean?
There's only one
Alright.
bed I
A
know.
big eagle that we know.
You
Alright.
understand? There's only
Alright.
one bed I'm aware
Alright.
of.
Alright. Anyway, Sean, appreciate it, Pepper. Lumsy, what are you saying, my guy? Lumsy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Shy, pillow voice or kilo day.
Wow, it's a FC stage.
Nah, I'm not.
They're silencing
Do.
me.
I don't do FC.
Oh,
I'm a Wizkid fan.
gladly, that
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know what FC means. But anyways, good day, everybody. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. Shout out to Auntie Sheon for bringing this topic on Spaces.
Wait, Auntie.
This man just say, you're already playing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because I don't regard that guy, to be honest. He's just entertaining. So first of all, I'm not going to talk about Fela or Wizkid. I don't think. I mean, proper conversation. It is not a proper conversation. For banter, I mean, if it's banter, yeah, everybody banters everybody. I mean, people have compared Rema to Burna Boy and Rema to Wizkid because of one song, all right? So those things happen. Fans will be fans. We have said it on Spaces now that this fan banter has kept Afrobeat afloat at least to an extent. So why now? So I don't think that's a conversation. I'll just talk about the Shion issue and then we'll move on. Probably you can just time me 2 to 3 minutes and I'm done.
Yes, please.
First of all, see, if you don't respect yourself as an elder, right, the younger people will disrespect you and the old people will look at you and laugh at you. That's just what's going on here. What Shion is doing is not something that is new to everybody while being in the game. He just gets angry when everybody is getting their flowers and talking about the next greatest after Fela, because everybody keeps saying after Fela. There's no way you say greatest of all time and you will not talk about Fela. So he uses that as an excuse to say stop bringing my father's name. Sheon Kuti cannot protect Fela's legacy. Fela's legacy is bigger than Sheon Kuti. Sheon Kuti is very irrelevant in this grand scheme. There's nothing he has done to uphold it. If anybody here thinks what I'm saying is cap, please, you can just type 5 songs. But I didn't even say 5 hits. Just 5 songs of Sheon Kuti on top of your head and put on the Jumbotron. There's no talk there.
The Black Album.
If anybody's going to protect Fela's legacy, the whole of Nigeria. Right? Sheon does not need to come outside. What is he protecting? By going on Instagram Live and being a nuisance. I mean, let's be real now. I mean, he's not even when Fela was hot, when Fela was top of the game, I'm not sure Shion was even born. People forget. I'm sure young people even think that he is literally the last born. For crying out loud, there's Femi Kuti. There is literally Auntie Yenny, right? So what does he know apart from just being his son? Do you understand? Everybody has seen videos of
Sheon Kuti is his own artist, though. Let's not we don't have to.
I'm not saying he's not his own artist.
Yeah.
I'm even trying to say that he's actually an artist.
Yeah.
So protecting Fela's legacy should be with his own music too. It's not by Instagram. Leave that for very dark man. I'll be BDSM or VDM or whatever his name is. You leave that for people like that. He's not Sheon Kuti. If you want to you're an artist. If you want to if Auntie Yenny is the one doing this thing, I can understand. She doesn't understand. She's also a fan. You're an artist as well. If you want to protect your father's legacy, at least I know one thing for sure. If Sheon Kuti did not inherit anything, he inherited Fela's band. So that's already been Nepo. So use that to protect your father's legacy. Not by going on Instagram. But we all know, for those of us who have followed this game for a long time, it's not just Wizkid is not the problem. The problem with him is he feels left out. He feels these are his peers and people talking about Fela and not him. Talk about Fela and Burna Boy. He got angry. And shout out to Burna Boy for being petty. I think Wizkid should have just been petty. I just sent him one chain, maybe a dog chain or something. Because that's what Burna Boy did. And I give him his credit for that. We just sent him a chain, bro, shut the fuck up. If it's Fela's legacy, you understand? So it's not a conversation, to be honest. I don't think we start saying Wizkid has never done this, Wizkid has done this. Wizkid has, bro, we all know from day one, right? There's a reason why he named his Snapchat Fela back. He has always drawn inspiration from this guy, and any video he does, any documentary he does, any interview he does, he speaks about him. For those of us who were in school during the early 2000s and 2010s, right? I went for Celebration 2012, 2013. No, sorry, 2013, 2014, 2015. And Wizkid was in all the three. He was there for free. And the reason why we know is that it's not even Wizkid that said it. It's Femi Kuti that's always saying it. He was there for free,
Yeah.
So these things alone are somebody protect. If you don't even know about Fela, through Wizkid's, musical career, you will have seen it. So at the end of the day, I think it's a shame. To me, I'm even angry at Shion for bringing disrespect to Fela, because Fela is all of us daddy. It's not be only Shion get now all of us papa with that. If somebody across the globe, or sorry, across the continent comes to disrespect Fela, all of us should be angry.
We'll rally
All of us should-
together, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what is
Bro, it's
Shion
like we're
doing?
voting for him for the rock,
Like you are, bro, you are a
the
real,
rock,
you are a
the
real.
rock Hall
I
of
remember when
Fame.
Wizkid came up to say,
Yeah.
and even the Hall of Fame as well. Like,
Yeah,
do you
the Hall of
understand?
Fame,
Everybody,
yeah.
once we see Fela and I'm sorry, like I'm a Christian, but you get some people who go see Fela, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like he's like
Yeah.
a god here. We don't care what he was smoking. In fact, he's inspired everybody to smoke. Igbo is part of the Afrobeats culture.
I don't know if that's anyway, but
I mean, we know. You understand?
yeah. But
The
real quick,
reason
just to
why,
round up though, just to round up.
yeah. So let me just wrap up with this, right? So as for the Fela's legacy and all, Sheon Kuti is not protecting anything. In fact, he's not bringing disrespect to him, because young fans will be young fans. If they say this kid is their goat, it's their goat. It doesn't take anything from them. He should learn from the Bob Marley family. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, appreciate it, my guy. All right, man, that was Lunzi. We have some new speakers, some fresh speakers. We have Aya Matanga, Marvelous, and then Slick Back. What's good, Marvelous?
Yeah, Emmanuel, Happy New Year.
Happy
Am
New
I
Year, bro.
audible?
Yeah, you're good. You're clear.
Okay. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, man.
I don't know. I'll start. Al, Happy New Year. It's been a long while. I hope you're doing great. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I miss your voice. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yes, marvelous.
They go now. They go.
Beverly, I'm okay. I miss you as well.
Aww.
Yeah. It's actually
This is not what we're here for.
I can't lie. When I join music spaces, it's actually a breath of fresh air compared to the spaces I'm usually on. So thank you so much, guys. Now, here's the thing. I want you guys to have in mind that Sheon Kuti is a full-time cloud chaser and a part-time musician. At least from my perspective. Don't get me wrong. He's, there are things that he says that are valid, but nonetheless, the way I look at him and the way I have viewed him for a while, not just with regards to this incident with Wiz, right? Dating back to when he slapped the police officer. Yeah. And how he has this, I don't know if I'll call it okrika, activism. And I'll get to that later on in my submission, why I think his activism is a bit, it's like he has value version. It's like eye service when it comes to him and activism. And I'll get to that later on. I look at him as full-time clout chaser, part-time musician. Now, what is in a name? Your father is arguably one of the greatest musicians, one of the greatest icons, one of the greatest artists to ever come from the African soil. This is a person that transcends beyond Nigeria. This is a person that transcends beyond Africa. You come from his loins. You're his seed. You're his youngest son, if I'm not mistaken. Rather than try to see how you can, whether that be repackage, whether that be market, whether that be teach or let the younger generation and the newer generation learn about your father in a way that is not combative, in a way that does not seem condescending, in a way that does not seem like you're sort of insulting them and belittling them for not knowing who your father is, rather than make them get into your father's music in a very cool, diplomatic, inviting, hip, new school way. He chooses to do what a lot of older, elderly Nigerians typically do. They sit on their high horse and they sort of discredit and look down and just want to make it seem like anyone that is up and coming is nowhere near and can never be compared to whatever it is that their taste is. And unfortunately, I don't think he realizes it because he comes across as someone that's very ego driven. He is actually pushing people, especially this current generation. Not everyone has an eclectic taste. Not everyone is curious about music. Not everyone is explorative when it comes to music. Some people are very close minded. And I don't know if he realizes he had an opportunity to bring in closer Gen Z, right? He had an opportunity to bring some of them closer, some members of Wiz FC, bring them closer to his father's music, bring them closer to his father's message. But instead, he just did, permit me to use this word, boomer. He just did the most boomer, the most boomer. He just did the most boomer thing you can imagine and pushed them and kept them at arm's length. There's a popular Igbo proverb. I'm going to say it in English, but those of you that are Igbo, you'll know. If you want a child to come close to you and to listen to you, you don't call their attention with a cane. You don't call their attention with a whip. You call their attention by having open arms. If you feel that Wizkid stands, who are of the younger generation, who are on social media, who are on Twitter, who are on Instagram, are not giving your father the reverence and the respect and the credit that he deserves, the onus is on you as his child to figure out a way. That's why music is such that it's ever changing. That's why music is the way that it is. That's why music is such that you might not like an artist today, but then they start to do some press runs, they start to do some remixes, they start to collaborate with other artists, they start to remaster their old music. Why aren't you remastering your father's music? Why aren't you reimagining? If you can't remaster them, okay, out of respect, you don't want to touch his work. Why aren't you reimagining some of his music? You're his son. Chances are you'll be able to get certain things cleared easier than most people. Why aren't you collaborating with artists in the new school?
I mean, he is.
Why must everything, when it comes to the legacy artists, why must everything with them be about arguing
To be
and
fair,
bragging rights?
he is collaborating with the newer generation, but yeah, I
No, no,
completely
no. I know
agree
he
with the
is, but
whole time. Yeah.
no, I know he is. I just feel
Hey,
like he
is
should
it
be
Vector
doing
that
that.
you are calling the new generation? Emmanuel, please.
No, no,
Quiet.
no. He, to be fair, to give him credit,
Vector,
he is.
Udumodu, a
To be
lot of
fair, to
people.
give him credit, he is.
Yeah.
But I do think, like being Fela's son gets you through a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Being Fela's son gives you, I would imagine, benefit of doubt, and it will give you access to certain A-listers that the average artist might not be able to get. And I do think he's going about this the wrong way, unfortunately. Wizkid has your father embedded in his skin. That in itself should tell you that his opinion of your father is not whatever his stands are saying on Twitter. The fact that that man has another man's face, he has your father's face on his skin, that should tell you that a lot of the noise, you should be able to filter out the noise. If it's not coming out of Wiz's mouth himself, you should probably disregard it and know that it's bait. But unfortunately, he's having a back and forth with Wiz, and he sees it as an opportunity to belittle him, to condescend to him, and to make him feel less than. And that is something that a lot of our older acts, not just musicians, even some of our older actors, some of our older, think about any part of society in Nigeria, a lot of our elderly folks, that is something they like to do. I don't know why, but I think it's a mentality that has to change.
Right.
He lost an opportunity to gain fans, and I hope sooner rather than later he realizes that he's going about some of these engagements and some of these instances, he's going about them the wrong way.
Right. Okay. Appreciate you, Marvelous, for that. Very, very succinct submission on that. I know you opened up with him, like you calling him the full-time cloud chaser, part-time what's it called, the musician. There's a theory, or at least maybe I'll ask you if you agree with it. With the situation here is that he doesn't necessarily believe Wizkid has or holds this position. He's more so just playing the quote unquote PR game of of just making or getting his name in headlines. And as much as I don't like to give too much reference to that kind of angle, because I do feel he has a genuine cause to make a lot of this noise that he's making. But I think where we disagree, or where we all disagree, is just how you go about it, right? But do you believe that there is also an ulterior motive attached to his videos and everything, just to
Of
to
course,
have
now it's
a
more like ideal. It's not only Femi and Yeni that Fela's children. Idea, like it's more like that's more like what I must look for everything. To be honest.
Right. Marvelous, do you believe that as well, or?
Yeah, okay. So the thing is, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna give a little bit of an elaborate answer. I see Sheun Kuti on my timeline every Eke Market day. I don't know about you guys, but I see him on my timeline often because he likes to rant.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, I love listening to people
I
rant.
do. He's a good follow on every
Yeah,
platform.
he likes to rant, and I love listening to people rant. So he has always been, present, in my opinion. Like, he's always there. He's a constant. So I don't feel like he needs to go this length to garner attention.
Right.
He actually doesn't need to.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
He's
fair enough.
like, this is an antic that you would expect from Portable. When Portable says something like, "Who be Shay vibe, Shay no vibe," that whole comparison and trying to be bigger than, that is like a Portable type of tactic.
Yeah.
You're Sheun Kuti. What are you doing? Your father would never, but
Right.
what do I know?
Right. No, I appreciate that. I hear that wholeheartedly.
I don't think this is him gathering attention, sir. I think this is just Sheun being Sheun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's that too. Slick back. Are you there?
Yeah.
Welcome, bro.
I just want to say that, no go do cocaine, go drive you loco. Can't wait. If you stop doing drugs, if you stop doing hard drugs,
Yo,
we
man,
can
chill.
all see how Kanye West run
Yo, chill. Relax. He's not going out here calling. He's not going out here calling people. Yeah, let's not. He's not out here being a Nazi, bro.
Everybody's opening Twitter lawyer account.
Yo, relax on the drug thing, man. But yeah, move on.
Okay. Allegedly, I don't even know. But what I'm saying is, when you talk too much, one day, you will talk out of your ass. And that is just how life is. That's what how life is. That's why you see I've reduced my music. I've started saying I'm not a critic because I've realized that some people just be talking. I don't want to be called a fool in future. I don't want to be called a fool at 40. I'm growing old. Please,
Right.
once you talk too much, once you set up, once you that Instagram live is the spirit of the devil. Once you open your Instagram live every week, one day you talk rubbish.
Right.
This issue, I see Shehu Kuti that was on um Jonah Monet's album. If I call he's not a serious artist. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? When you are talking too much, they will start even discrediting your art
It was
and
on
whether
two
you are
tracks on that album, man. It was
yes.
and that album was nominated for album of the year on the Grammys.
Can you see? Can you
Yeah.
see? Can you see? Can you see what?
And he has been nominated for the Grammys from
Can you see
time.
what talking too much will put it through? Will put it through.
Right.
All me I want to say is the thing about this issue, and the thing about it is Fela is a man. He's an ordinary man like me and you. If you talk, he has a God status, right? But if you yourself you carry this new generation, very disrespectful people, where we don't you like let it be Fela or whoever anybody is. If you by yourself you dent the image, then you cannot, how do I to put it? You cannot now say that other people like how do I put it? You cannot now say that you cannot now hold other people liable for what you have like done.
Right.
Do you understand? Because if we even go down to who are the people that are even upholding the image or the legacy or the something, I don't even think Shehu is the top five.
No.
Let's can you see? Can you see what talking too much can do to you? Can you see what talking too much can do to you?
Relax.
But what I'm saying is, he should see this issue in Afrobeats. They used to apologize. Wizkid did not apologize. If they should call him disrespectful. We all know what he said to things like Ikeji. The young people that are new on Twitter, please welcome to. We all see what he does to Davido every 2 market days. We all see what they've been doing to Burna Boy now in this new 2036.
Yeah.
See. If you provoke Whiskey, he's a street boy. Anytime you collect. If you provoke someone,
Wizkid said, "Don't provoke me to anger."
if you
Or
just come
else.
here,
Man, you're not real for that, man. You're not real. What the hell, man?
so
I
everybody
told you
should
people
just
not is bad.
calm down.
Man,
I'm
you're
sure
not real.
Man.
Uncle Femi has Whiskey number. They should call themselves. They should set family meeting. That see, please.
Yo, did you think there was an intervention in the cooties?
See, I'm honest. I am 100% sure that after that whole something, I'm sure that even in the 6 weeks, in the 6 days that he was doing all these things, then they were calling him that.
I'm sure the group
Stop
chat
this
must have
thing.
been
Yes, they were telling him
was
that
fun.
this thing that
You
you're
show
doing.
me that Kuti group chat was going off. Man. Fuck.
Yo.
He showed me that they were not
I'm
like
sorry,
we
but you
told
guys need to understand that there's a difference between the Yeni and Femi and then the Shehu. They have different mothers. They've actually fought before. They've gone on Malice for 4 years. They're not as close as you guys think. That's why you don't see them around like that, even if they do now. But there's a difference between Yeni and Femi's,
Side of it.
own Kuti part and then the Shehu part. So that's why I can bet that they probably never talked about it maybe yet.
Probably. Yeah.
See, you see, this thing is just a very, very complicated issue. All I can say is nobody's going to apologize. Everybody should chop their hair. He reaped what he reaped and he has sowed. We should move on.
Right.
Protecting Fela's legacy. We were all there when oh, we are all alive when Drake is saying he's better than Michael Jackson. We're all seeing how they are buying Michael Jackson's what his um what do you call
I
this
don't.
thing?
Did Drake say he was better than Michael Jackson, or you just said I'm 1 away from Michael?
Yeah, he just
What
said
does
he was
that
one away.
what does that mean? What does that mean? What
Yeah,
does
like
that
he
mean? Shouldn't I be
That
literally,
he's one
he
away
literally
from
was literally
Michael.
was one
He's
number
actually
one
one away
hit
from Michael.
from Michael.
You see, Drake is even worse. Drake is even saying something. Wizkid is not saying anything. Wizkid is not saying anything. He's not saying anything.
Anyway,
Drake is
Sha.
even worse.
Then
Anyway,
All I'm saying,
Jackson will open Instagram live. Go ahead, my
all I'm
brother.
saying that is who or Paris Jackson, would they open Instagram live? I'm shouting, what do you mean? What do you mean? See, Fela came, he did what he did, he tried. The younger people will come and they will surpass the older. It is something that everybody should be proud of. It is not, it is only in Nigeria and Africa that you would want the older something to like be at the top for the rest of eternity. It cannot be so. I don't understand.
yeah,
Be
man.
grateful that, oh, your father opened doors to what we have today. It is something to be proud of. Oh, the founding fathers, the people that they will say, oh, they build Afrobeats, Mount Rushmore, who were the people that brought us to today. That does not mean that Obama is not a good president. That does not mean that other presidents did not come. But we are just grateful that, oh, these people got us to this level. Hey, hey,
Right.
that does not show. Everybody
Okay.
these people are
All
human
right.
beings.
All right.
They are not any Orisha or anything. Please, they are just human beings. Everybody should rest.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Slickback. I know the conversation is definitely skewed to one side. I'm even racking my head for a devil's advocate argument now. But if there is anyone that has one for this particular discussion, we are very much open to send a request here. I see a few requests, but I don't know. Everything just tells me everybody might essentially repeat the same sentiment.
Check the comment.
I think, yeah, is Emmanuel here? If he wants to come up, then yeah, because I don't think anyone else has brought up any other thing other than what's been said. But real quick, we hear from Blip, and we might get into new music shortly after that.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Blip.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my bro. Appreciate you. Shout out to Blip again on the Twitch sub.
You're solid. Yeah, you're a solid guy. To be fair, I wanted to come. I had plan agenda, but I think I wouldn't today. I think my because it's all been said, to be honest. But my direction is mostly on the reaction, really, because I think there was a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of like one-sided reaction that I don't even understand. Especially, and I'm talking about in terms of established media in a way, and that goes when I say established media, not like casual Twitter fans just tweeting their opinions, which will include like most of FC, but I'm talking about like people with podcasts, with content creators, with actual TV, like on a TV show and all of that. Like the way they approach the whole thing is like, because I would expect a media house, or like I can understand like bloggers looking for banger posts or anything, but to at least like get to the crux of it. If your section on the TV is to analyze what's happening in the industry, at least get the timeline of what happened and address it. Because everyone was okay. I even get to that part, because the way this thing started was actually quite casual. It was just a random person, and I think it was because of Money Constant or Jogo that was like, Wizkid might be bigger than Fela, blah blah blah. That was the actual first video that triggered it. And then Sean went on the 7-day run thing, and then the video again that actually triggered Wizkid response was two things. One was the Sean Kuti talking about, he's been cussing out Wizkid's fans, and he hasn't come to replied him. So that means he doesn't care about them, blah blah blah. Essentially baiting Wizkid.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's enough to bait Wizkid, to be honest. I think it was actually that video that woman made. I don't know if you see that video. That video was genuinely funny. It was disrespectful. That video that Wizkid posted about the about the lady calling calling him Omo Baba Onipatagi, blah blah blah.
Right.
Honestly, that video was funny, but it was disrespectful. So I understand why. I think that it was even that video that might even prompt Wizkid to actually respond. But that's just essentially like the timeline. But the response has been, it became a thing of, oh, Wizkid disrespected Fela. Oh, and everyone started going on this history of Fela. Like, do you know Fela? Is Fela who fought for government? Fela with mom. That we all know this. Like, okay, maybe not.
Okay.
We all.
Yeah, I
we all
think some people didn't. I need to.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I understand what you're saying. Like in terms of like the response shouldn't be Fela did this, Fela did this, Fela did that. But I think there's a balance to it, right? There's a balance to it in the sense that there were a lot of what it felt like. It felt like there was a galvanized, like mobilization of this rhetoric, and it felt convincing to people that okay, the people are actually making arguments now. People were trying to lay out Wizkid's achievements. People were trying their very best to downplay Fela's achievements. So it became a response to those things, which I think should be responded
that
to.
was
Right?
okay. So
Which I think some things need to be responded to. Like if
it
someone's come and say like, oh, Fela, what's Fela doing on streaming? Or compared to Michael Jackson.
but
Like shit like that needs to be responded to, right?
But most of that is from usual like Twitter fingers.
Yeah.
Not like actual. So because what I was saying in terms of that was more, they were in the direction of like, oh, Wizkid disrespected Fela, and this guy, it was like, as everyone had already established, I'm not gonna go into that. That has never been the case for Wizkid.
Right.
But it was more like, how dare he? Blah 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 blah, and it was just like, this was not even the crux of the matter. It wasn't even like, Wizkid wasn't even the one that did. Okay, and the response, and granted, the response was actually a bit like the old Wizkid's response was a bit over the top, but it's also not over the top to an extent, because when you contextualize it, I am bigger than Fela, or a big past Fela is bigger than a big past your papa. What do you want to do? Because there is a little bit of nuance in that. In terms of, you've been dragging me for 7 days. Even if your father and God, even if your father and Moses, okay, I big your past your papa, what do you want to do? So
right, yeah.
Because that power has been taken by media houses like journalists, and going on the fact that, oh, it's disrespectful, how can you do that? And that leads me to what I would actually like want to touch on is this kind of, and I think it's even like, it could be like a bigger conversation of what exactly is the problem with Nigerian thinking that the past cannot be surpassed. This conversation is a bit bigger than Fela in a way, because it goes in different spheres of society, Nigerian society, because you can even see it in kind of parentifying people in authority. Like, as long as you're old or you started things in the past, the younger generation can never have an opinion that is better or more improved than yours. And it's like, that does not even make any sense, because when you I don't know if it's even the right word, like when you mythologize the past, then it can't be corrected, because it can't be corrected. It can only be defended, because it becomes a myth to a certain extent. And any younger generation that tried to lay out a critique is being framed as disrespect rather than an analysis. And that's where the problem is.
Right.
Like I said, this conversation is a bit bigger than Fela. This was just an example that brought it out to me, which was what was interesting. Everyone's analysis and response.
You're bringing up a good point.
Sorry, can I ask something?
Sorry, Lamdi. We're gonna get to that for. But Blip, you're bringing up good points, because there were parallel conversations happening about Fela's influence on modern day Afrobeats. Right? There was people getting into the nuances of what Fela's impact is on today's Afrobeat as we do know it, right? Because if you compare it from the messaging, from the style, there's clear differences, right? There's obvious differences. There's the whole orchestral arrangement. There's the whole 13-minute track, and there's broadly, which is the major thing, there's the whole message behind Fela's music. I will compare to the vast majority of modern day Afrobeats isn't doing all of that. Modern day Afrobeats takes primarily most of it's influenced directly from hip hop, right? And then it fuses it with a lot of the local genres that we do have, right? So like there's all those like fair and nuanced conversations that can be had about Fela's influence on today's music, because sometimes it can be overstated, and I agree. Sometimes people can overstate it in terms of the direct influence. But yes, like I completely hear what you're saying. How people don't.
Yeah, because it was more. It was even more like, even like I said again, even beyond Fela's conversation. But we're just gonna use Fela as an example.
Right.
Like Fela is a genius. He is a genius. But it's like, throughout human history, I don't think he's an untouchable genius. I think the kind of event that has happened to him makes him a unique genius. And someone made an analysis in terms of, genuinely, this legend. I think. Wait, is this someone? It was actually Kuti, one of the Kuti family. I don't think it's the lady in the car, but someone in an interview that was actually talking about these two legends can actually stay. Okay, I'm not sure if it was actually
coexist.
Yeah, coexist in a way, because the era and the things that
completely
they
different.
are doing, the era and the things that they're doing is unique to them.
Right.
And they've, at their own era, they've done things that have surpassed like what is considered normal. They break boundaries, they've laid new grounds, inspired new. Wizkid definitely inspired new generation. Fela also did inspire all of them.
Bro,
So
can I just pause you on that? I think Fela, what the biggest thing that Fela has impacted, even me personally, like, just from an ideological standpoint, Fela defined, or at least he executed what I believe free speech meant. You know what I mean? Even though when, like, you see a lot of the American rhetoric in the political space talk about free speech, right? But knowing that other words tend to not necessarily value people's ability to speak against authority, Fela, that was the biggest thing that Fela would definitely like rewire in a lot of people's heads, is that you can have that authority, or you can have that boldness to speak as a citizen, as somebody that is supposed to be served by the government, right? So that's beyond music. Shit like that is beyond music, right? So when it comes to the view of Fela and how he's raised to a god status, it stems from his message more than anything else, right? It stems from what he represents more than anything else. Yeah.
Can I insert here, please? I know somebody tried
Yeah,
to
yeah. I
interrupt
think
not long ago.
Olamide.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to that person, but I'm jumping in front of you. See, I was about to go to sleep, but I started watching this on YouTube, like this space on your YouTube.
Yeah.
And I heard something I had to jump on. I said I have one major point to make. Now, see, look. I'll start by saying I'm very far from the kind of Nigerian that believes strongly in seniority above other things. I clap for people that disrespect authority within reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
All of that kind of shit. So you'll never catch me saying, oh, because this person came first, or because this person is older or has been there for longer, they should be bigger. Like Rema I rank Rema above people that have been doing this shit for 10, 20 years. That being said, when you look at someone like Fela, again, like I think the words nuance is important has been used in this conversation probably too many times, but you need to understand the nuance. It's bigger than something like, oh, Fela came before. Let's even take away what they call it. Let's take away his activism and his free speech. That's a very big part of, yes, Fela as the persona. That's a big part of his music as well, big part of his message. But let's even take that aspect away. Let's look at the music, the man and the music. People are trying to make this point that, oh, Fela was great, but he was great in his time. And Wizkid is now here, and Wizkid is great in his time. Let me create a bit of imagery for you. You see Wizkid today, yeah? Wizkid came on the scene, like 15 years ago? And within this time, he has inspired new generations of artists, based on the sound and all of the music that he created. Who can you say that Fela did that for? Who can you state as an immediate predecessor of Fela's music?
Outside his kids?
In the generation that came just after him? That's going to be a very hard question to answer, isn't it?
Wait, are you saying outside of his children?
Outside of his children, of course, yes.
Right.
Because obviously his children clearly inherited his sound
that's a very
directly.
disrespectful question. What do you mean?
Well,
No. I want you to understand the question because my plane is just in the air. It's still in the air. I want to see. But everyone has heard my question. You see how hard it is to possibly answer that question.
I think you're asking the wrong people for that question because we're not in. I mean, it's okay, fairly.
Now you're no longer old, Ima.
No. It's not like we're no longer old. It's not about that. Hello, I'm no longer old.
I can ask that question here because I believe this is a space of people that tend to have a strong understanding, a strong... Wait, I can hear you, but I've not finished. Right. A very strong understanding, no disrespect, like love, but I need to understand that this point has not landed at all.
So, wait.
So, space of a bunch of people with a very strong understanding of Nigerian music history, or at least better than the average. For
sure.
So, the point of my question... The point of my question is absolutely not to talk down on Fela.
Wait, I'm about to follow up a question too.
Pardon?
I have a follow-up question to your question.
Okay.
So when you're done,
sure.
Yeah, so are you speaking stylistically? As an influence? Or are you saying in the matter of reverence to him, in matter of sampling, in matter of quotables?
In matter of, let's say, influence is a very broad thing. It's hard to quantify. But let's say stylistically, there are other people in his generation, like at the same time as him, but the ones that now followed shortly after, who can you say, oh, this is Fela's son, like that, other than his actual sons? Yeah, I mean.
So you're saying follow after? Okay, by follow after you mean in the late 90s into early 2000s?
Yes.
Okay, so there were numerous artists that fashioned or at least styled themselves in a Fela antics, right?
Okay, let's hear it.
Like the Banj, which was a fair and obvious one in the early 2000s, that kind of personified himself in a Fela delivery, especially on stage. I think when it comes to crafting stage performances, a lot of artists channeled their craft from him. He was the ultimate performer. He was the ultimate charisma.
Anyways, let me answer the question.
He was the.
Let me answer the question real quick.
No, but I'm just further elaborating from a band standpoint. Right. We've seen that trickle from not just the style and stage performance, but in reference to his material. So many samples, so many callbacks to his material that we see constantly in that era as well. To see that exist in the era within Wizkid, by Wizkid being an example of that, right? And even Burna Boy for that instance, right? So I'm just painting the most obvious examples because we can go down to the W4s, we can go down to the Scales, the not so glamorous artists that most people will pick up from, but those guys have had Lagbaja, the very clear and obvious one. Yeah. Lagbaja is definitely the big one there. So it's like
you don't believe that Lagbaja is influenced by Fela, Lumzi.
Wait, Lumzi, you don't believe that? Lumzi, you don't believe that? They were actual comparisons with Lagbaja. They were actual comparisons with Lagbaja and Fela Kuti, bro. Like so people were having those discussions on Naira Land back in the day.
Wait, I think you guys are missing this question, right? So I'll just answer real quick and in as much as I know where your question is going to, there's context. So first of all,
let's hope that let's hear it.
No, I know where your question is going to. Obviously, you're trying to prove that in terms of direct influence, people, the person, the big bed now, probably has more. But let me just say this, right? There's context. Again, I'm not that old. I'm just 20 years old. So please. Yeah.
Understood.
You don't need to be old. You don't need to be old, man.
So yeah.
Sure.
Fela's prime was not 90s. Again, that's why when people say Lagbaja was Fela's prime was not 90s. His question is after Fela's set. Fela's prime was 70s and the 80s. Now, you get to understand something. If you answer a question directly, the answer is Fela did not influence so many, or No.
There's arguments of Orlando Julius, bro.
No, wait. Orlando Julius was before Fela now. Emmanuel, calm down.
I'm not saying in the same, but he was in the same era with him.
But it was before. No, it was before him.
He wasn't before him. Orlando Julius
all right,
wasn't
no problem.
before him.
All right, no issues. Anyways, let me just answer his question. So AMG
was it before the 60s?
I mean, before the Afrobeats thing, the 60s Fela was not really doing.
Orlando Julius was pretty much aligned in the same like timeline with
but
Fela,
he was doing.
It wasn't before
the
him.
Afro thing before Fela came back from the UK. Anyways, that's not the point. Let me just clear AMG's question. So yes, I won't say Fela did not influence people, right? Just immediately after his set, right? I'll say, yes, there were not so many influences of Fela's style and music just after his set mainstream, and you are correct in that. But there were reasons, right? Now Fela became more popular when he died. For those of you that know, again, I'm just 20 years old.
Yeah, he did.
He became more popular when he died, right? His music was like, it's not like now where you have activists on Instagram, like Fela's son, one of them, right? Instead of doing it on the music, they do it on Instagram. Now you don't need to. That's why I laugh when people say, "Oh, back in the day they were singing conscious music, and now people are not singing conscious music." You don't need music to be conscious in this era. So it's literally a very stupid point, right? During Fela's time, there was no, like, every media was controlled by the military. Every media. The only way you could speak against the government was music, because nobody, and that again was helped by Fela having, foreign record labels. So him having influence there might not be evidence of it, because it was very hard for a new age artist to go and to go else and do the same thing Fela was doing. Fela was like a godlike character. I don't think you guys understand. Ordinary Two-Face that tried to talk against the government, he threatened him and did a video to apologize. It was hard back in the day. This guy literally lost his backbones. He lost his mother. Google his mother. Maybe you guys think his mother is just some.
Bro, they basically
killed.
They terrorized his family.
Last time.
So no.
Why they talk to us less?
Yeah. So the reason for that. So when you ask your question, yes, his music did not seem to have influenced the next generation after him, but the context was like it was not possible to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? You couldn't do it. When Fela died.
Wait, you're saying he didn't influence the generation after him?
No, I am saying there was no evidence of it.
Like there is no there's no evidence.
Like,
I think it was hard saying like there is no
for it to go mainstream.
Like
now you can
evidence.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the time, I'm not saying Fela did not. A lot of people were trying to be like Fela. Like, shout out to you for bringing up W4. A lot of people were trying to be like afterwards, but it became when it was cool to do. As at the time Fela was doing what he was doing, it was not cool to speak against the government. You literally lose your life. The only reason why Fela did not lose his life was because he had foreign record labels. He had international eyes on him. That's why I'm 20 years old. Many people still believe that it's not HIV that killed him. That's the Nigerian government that killed him. So when you ask your question, I get where you're going from and seeing people like Wizkid have influenced the next generation, which is true, right? But what Fela was doing at the time, even if he influenced people to do it, you will do it in your room. You literally cannot go mainstream with that kind of music or that kind of style. That's what I'm just trying to see. Let's not forget, back in the day when Fela was, most parents did not see Fela as an influence. He was smoking Igbo. Forget that Igbo now has become Fela-ized.
And he had 75 million wives.
You get what I'm saying? Igbo I'm not saying widow. Igbo at the time was the devil's incarnate. So there was nothing to influence, right?
Okay, wait, let me hold.
Real quick, Olamide.
Let me hold you there. Let me hold you there. Let me hold you there, you guys. Wait. So this is Lumzi that was speaking, Abi.
Guys.
Sorry, Belema. Like, I know I interrupt people. I don't mind people interrupting me normally. Like, I know we all do this, but like I said, I have work in like 5 hours.
We all have this.
Hear what I'm saying. 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 See.
Wait. Relax.
Marvelous chill now.
Relax. Actually, I was already going to transition to Olamide because I think she was going to actually speak, and I don't want to extend too much of the conversation to her.
To say something.
Yes.
Yeah, she was meant to say something.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey. Welcome.
Yes, we
Yeah, we
can.
can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Happy New Year.
Long time, miss
New
you guys.
Year. Miss you too. Miss you too.
Do you know what's really funny about this conversation? Like everyone's talking about Gen Z. Like for me personally, I wasn't even born when Fela died and all this stuff. Yeah, like I I grew up learning about Fela and through time. So it's not even like you can't generalize a whole generation of this is what they feel, right? Because that's what a lot of people in the older generation tend to do. You just generalize their opinions. For me, I view Fela as a legacy artist, right?
Right.
And the reason why people get so offended and so uptight is because of that legacy. It's not necessarily that, oh, he will be forever be like the number one Nigerian artist ever, but it's that legacy and respect that you have for his career, his achievements, and kind of like political impacts, right? And that's kind of this. I hate to bring this comparison, but that's why there's this level of distaste towards Burna Boy and like his behaviors and all these things.
Right.
Because it's deeper than music. And I think it's also unfair to make it seem like it's just a Nigerian thing. Hip hop fans have this sensitivity to artists as well that they view as legacy artists. Do you know what I mean?
God bless you.
Like it's not just a Nigerian thing. It's his legacy, it's his music, it's also kind of what he stands for. Also considering the fact that Nigerians are still suffering now. Like it's a level of sentimentality. I don't know how to explain it.
Right.
So for me, even though I technically grew up more with Wizkid, I'm not attached because it's not like I'm not attached in a way that Fela is like timeless for me. Like the fact that I'm even educated about his work and his work. I went to his exhibition in December and I was like, this is what legacy is like. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
I like this person.
Thank
Please,
you.
someone, if anybody knows where she is, send one full crate of malt to her house. Please.
All right. Real
So
quick.
sorry, real fast. I
Wait.
just want to say something real fast. I think it's very interesting, and actually, Olamide like put it perfectly for me. I think one of the things that's so interesting to me is that in everything we discuss, we have to discuss the Nigerian factor of it all, and it's always so funny to me because I think it was Blip that said it earlier, and now Olamide has like emphasized the point I was going to make. But it's really the idea that like the reality is the Nigerian factor. As Nigerians, we have this thing we do where we take, like, to be honest, we're kind of a selfish community, even though we don't play out ourselves as selfish people. We are kind of selfish people. So the ways that we kind of like oppose ourselves and be two parts of the same coin is we do this thing where we're very like respect. And so what really happens is that we are not, and one thing that's very bad about Nigerians, we're not good at preserving legacy. So one of the only people that we've thankfully been able to preserve legacy for is Fela. And Olamide said it, like this December there was a whole bunch of like Fela exhibitions, plays, museum, all of that in December. And it's really a testament to what it is that we operate in a society where one thing can be the be all end all. So there are plenty of you that I already know in my heart have never listened to one Fela album. But you can come here and say Fela is the GOAT. You're not saying that because Fela is the GOAT, or that you truly believe it. Or maybe you believe it, but the reason why you believe it is that you were taught to believe that he's the GOAT. You are taught to believe in respect. You are taught to believe in legacy. So what ends up happening is that it's the same methods that your Nigerian parents used to relate to you are the same methods you use to relate to Fela. So what ends up
Hmm.
happening is that your parents tell you you have to be respectful, you have to be this, you have to be that. And so you end up in a situation where even when you don't want to be, you are. And so you end up in a situation where Seun Kuti might be an elder. So really and truly, like, maybe Wizkid should not have said that. But you will take
Okay.
it, you will take it from your age mates, you won't take it from that, right? And so it's this Nigerian factor that I want us to play into all of this. This Nigerian factor of understanding that you all, maybe some people, but several people truly do not understand the essence of what Fela did.
Okay.
But
Okay,
God bless
they
you,
guys.
have
Belema.
to
Oh,
be
sorry,
in a
she dropped in.
Okay,
situation
my very
where
last
they
point.
run with it.
My
Okay.
very
And
last
then,
point. Sorry, sorry to do this, but
yes.
I find
No,
this
we've
so
all been doing
Sorry,
it.
unfortunate.
sorry. Let Belema finish your thought. I feel like there are some incomplete like
No,
sentences. Just finish your thought. And then.
the basic point of it all is that we do this respect thing. We do this like thing where we hail people on a sense of legacy without truly understanding the worth of what they did. So while I truly believe that Fela is probably the greatest thing that ever came out of Nigeria, I had to take the time out to understand why he's that person. But I think that this is a side to it where there are a lot of Nigerians that haven't taken the time to understand why he holds that spot. They just have been taught to say he owns that spot, and so they go with it. And so I want us to consider the Nigerian factor in all of this, because whether you want to call it Gen Z or millennial behavior, at the end of the day, there are some people that are just regurgitating what they've been taught, not what they believe. And it would do us all a benefit if we truly learn about the man and see what he did and see why he's important to the culture. That's all.
Okay, please, after
All
allow
right.
me, they have something to say.
Sorry,
AMG.
Guys,
I
we
want to
we
tell
actually need to
AMG
move to another
something.
topic. There's new music
No,
to dive
because
into.
I didn't finish my points. You guys didn't let me finish my points
wait,
now.
hold
AMG,
on.
Like,
AMG, real
I
quick.
was interrupted 3 times. I
You
wasn't
know
allowed to finish my
wait.
points.
You know why though, right? Because you
Pardon? No,
because you
because you guys
interrupted
didn't let
someone
me
else.
land.
Because you interrupted someone else. The
Yeah,
conversation was
okay,
dragging for
that is
too
true.
long.
That is true, my
And
bad.
I had
But can
to.
I, if I may, Your Honor,
Wait,
if I
Real
may,
AMG,
quick,
that was more
real quick.
Your Honor, if I may.
Please make a
Now,
quick point, man.
God bless you, Belema, Olamide, and the guy that was responding to me. I don't know that is Lumsy, but the person that said that they're 20 years old. God bless all of you, because all of you have contributed very well to my point. When I think everybody misunderstood the question, and I think
Yes, yes, and that's what I was trying to say.
I
Please,
deliberately misworded, no, not
please.
misworded, but I deliberately worded the question in a way that will make people
Wait.
bring
Am I
answers
audible?
that were not what I was going to say.
Am I
Now
audible?
let me. Yes, you are on,
Okay,
but sorry,
AMG,
my
AMG,
hold
guy.
on.
I want to
Hold
speed
on,
through it.
hold
I'm
on.
very
AMG has the
sorry. I'm
floor.
very sorry,
AMG
but I
has
want
the
to speed through it.
floor.
Hold
Please,
on.
AMG has the floor. AMG has the floor real quick, man. Let's just make this thing quick because we have to get to more topics. Okay?
Sorry, my guy, man. I really
Jeez.
just want to speed
Please,
through
no
it.
interjections,
But
man. Let's go.
basically, you see the way Fela, it's hard to name any immediate, what they call it, person that took after Fela. The people that you people mentioned are people from my childhood. Is it the band? Like, bro, I was there when the band was blowing up and stuff. Fela was the way before I was born. Do you understand? This is the impact that Fela left, that nobody within 2 decades could come up and they could say, oh, this was taken after Fela. Bro, Young Thug's career had not finished before they started saying, oh, look at Gunna is the new Young Thug, look at Lil Baby, this is the new Young Thug, look at this one, that one. Fela, 2 decades after, nobody, you cannot name two or even one person. You couldn't name two people, one person that you can say, oh, this is Fela's son, except his actual son, that takes after him stylistically. And like I said from the beginning, I said leave the other, like the politics and the persona of the man behind. Do you know what I mean? But even if you put those in, nobody could carry that amount of aura that Fela did. And there are people that took after him, don't get me wrong. After he created Afrobeat, do you know, for the longest time, I thought Fela was the only artist that did that his genre of Afrobeat.
Absolutely.
But it turns out that there are people like Ebotelo from Ghana, other Nigerian artists, and many bands in Europe. That's what they call
There's
it,
a
even up
band
to
in
today.
US,
That
Antibalas or so. Yeah.
a band, there are several, bro, that have taken over the sound from the time that he was there up till now. People have been doing this, and then now the more modern, interpretations of his character and of his sound. But the sum of all these people is you will literally have to take all of these groups, all of these people, and add them together to still get one Fela. That is the impact of Fela. That's the point I was trying to say. Gotcha. It took so long for us to say, okay, this guy is a memory, and now these people are taking influence from the memory of the man. That is the impact of Fela. And again, like another disclaimer, because at the beginning I said, okay, I don't care so much for respect and all of these things, especially when it comes to like music stuff. I have these same what they call it. This is the same way I feel when I'm talking about foreign artists with their legacy. Me, I'm a music first kind of person when we are talking about musicians. This is why when people talk about, oh, this musician is a bad person, obviously within reason. I'm not defending Chris Brown here, but within reason. When people are saying, oh, this artist is a bad person, oh, but what kind of music do they make? How good is their music, bro? When people are saying, oh, Beyonce can't be a nice person because she's a billionaire, okay, I don't buy her products, but her music is fucking amazing. That's the kind of that's the way I think. So all this one that they're talking about, oh, Wizkid has social media, bro. He never had that. Fela didn't have MTV. Fela would have been censored by the government of his country. But Fela made it. He broke all of these excuse my language. He broke all of these barriers, my nigga, bro. Fela is such that till today we are having these conversations, and I think I said it this is the last time. Let me explain. Fela will, on the same performance of one song, he will play piano, he'll play saxophone, he'll sing, he'll dance, he'll run and jump with all of his backup dancers and all his band members. He's keeping up to and surpassing all of them in one performance of one song while smoking Igbo. If it's Wizkid, the only thing he can do on the same level that Fela was doing in that performance is the smoking of Igbo. And nobody can argue against that. Fela was a true musician to the core, and he was a performer with such star power that if he was still put on a stage today, he would dominate more than 50%, 100%, 90% of our favorites, of our favorite artists. And I'll say my favorite artists, local and foreign. Fela will dominate majority of them. And there are very few people in this bracket. This is not because of age. This is not because of he's from back then. I'm an Igbo boy, but my parents are Igbo. I did not grow up listening to Fela in my household. We grew up listening to Igbo artists and Ghanaian high life artists and even American artists. I did not hear Fela in my house once. The only times I've heard Fela in my house is when I was playing Fela. That is to show you that, oh, there's no childhood, mystique attached to that. I learned about Fela as I was growing up, and when I had grown up, I understood this is the man that Fela is. That is Fela. Wizkid, if let's wait, let's see in like 20 years, maybe my kids will be talking about Wizkid like this, but I highly doubt that he will have the power. Wizkid is great. I've been liking Wizkid since the beginning. Since what song was it? Since before Don Dolcef, since before Motoshon, since before there was that. But Fela falls into that category of performers like Michael Jackson, like fucking James Brown. Fela falls into that category of musicians that.
Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
Appreciate the MG.
They
Definitely.
don't ring bell for me. They don't ring bell for me.
I don't even know where the fuck the bell came from, but whoever has this, whoever has that, send it my way, because that shit I need.
Whoever has the bell. You know, it's in the soundboard. You can find it in
I
the
just
soundboard.
do. You know, we've been.
Iman is
I've
an
been
old
hosting.
man now.
I've been
Okay,
hosting
this
how
Fela
many of
song,
these
you say this
spaces?
is Gen Z.
I've been hosting how many of these spaces? I still don't know where the hell there's there's a
Ima, don't
Iman is
worry.
an
soundboard.
If
old
I do for
man.
you,
There's a
I will show
soundboard.
you.
Iman say young because of
I'll show
Fela.
you.
Yeah, there's a
Anyway.
soundboard.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's the magic wand.
Soundboard aside. Appreciate the conversation so far. We still need to get to new music. We still need to get to a lot that's happened outside of Wizkid.
Yeah, you could joke,
But I want to transition with new speakers, by the way, because I have a shit ton of requests, so I might have to rotate the stage. But appreciate everyone that's been able to submit one way or the other. We really appreciate it. And the discussions. Daria, I know Daria hasn't gone, but Daria can help us kick off the real conversation, because speaking of Wiz, definitely heard the latest and greatest from him and Ashake for their EP, man. Obviously we got to hear the single prior, Jogodo. We all talked about it last week. Now we have the full 4-track EP in front of us. What's everyone's initial reactions to this and first thoughts? And again, I'm opening up to new speakers. For the sake of time, we're gonna rotate the stage. Appreciate everyone that's able to add on. But yeah, man, I'll start with Dari. Or Belema, do you want to go?
Yeah, Dari, so sorry, real fast. Before you go, I just want to say, I know Wizkid is one of his goals. I truly
Belema, let's move on.
appreciate
Let's
that.
move on, please.
I truly appreciate
Belema,
that
we have
for
to
you.
move on, please.
I'm moving on now. Let me finish. But I just want to say, your goat is not real, because he promised you people EP in December of 2025, and he delivered in January of 2026. And I just want you people to know that that was a choice, and that really happened. Based on, here's the thing, I know some people don't like the EP. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard, so I will give it that. A few of the songs are like, right now, one of the songs I like is Alaye, and I like Jogodo is also fun, yes. But I like Alaye, and what's the name of the other song? There's one other song on there I like.
Escalator and Turbulence.
Is that what you
So
like?
you like 3 out of 4,
I like
Is that what you like?
I like Turbulence.
My guess, if you like 3 out of 4, then you like the EP.
You don't like 3 out. You don't like the EP. Don't start with the EP.
So what I'm saying. Okay, so here's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Wait. I don't think.
Let's
Okay,
start
let's
from
hear
the
it.
beginning, because I never said
I don't understand. I thought she liked
No, I
it.
just look, guys.
those
We're
were
looking
not
for
the words that came out of my mouth.
Belema's struggle. We're just looking for
What I
it.
said was your goat promised you an EP.
It was the timeline she was dragging him
did
for.
not deliver. That's all I said.
Belema did
she said it's not the worst. That's what she said. She said it's not the worst.
And also, I said it's not the worst EP I've ever heard. I've heard worse EPs. I've heard worse.
So how did I go from that to say you like 3 out of 4?
Liking does not mean I love.
Okay, can Belema just
I didn't
finish?
say I love 3 out of 4. I said I like 3 out of 4.
Belema, red card.
Okay.
Red card is hilarious. No, I do
Wizkid
want to say.
thing.
I just want to say that Belema, he begged deliver the EP. I mean, did not deliver the EP. Yes, he said December.
Tell him. Ask Ben where is the Skepta?
There was traffic.
Belema is still dragging it for Skepta.
Skepta
That's still dragging it for
Skepta
Skepta.
album has been in traffic since.
Or maybe
2020.
Asake no get Byro to sign paperwork now. That was what happened. So,
Yeah, like it was missing.
So and Skepta no sign paperwork since 2020. It's okay, I understand. Anyway, it wasn't a bad job. Good job. Great for him. I like Alaye. I like Turbulence. Those were not bad. So shout out to him. Congrats to him. It was real. I don't know that they should have like, if he did not do that Apple Music interview, I don't know that they should have called this EP real. But it's
What would you have called it?
I don't know, but not that. Not that.
All right.
But it was cute. It was very cute.
They had to stick to the script.
All right,
I love
man.
it for
All right.
him. I love it for him.
All right, Dari.
But yes, please, Dari, please go ahead.
All right. So, anyways, I think I'll start with the EP, and I played it too many times. I think those are like the great things about it. Like it's short and you can just go back and um, I really like the production. I think Majestic was like phenomenal. Like with the production, like the production is just.
All right, chill out with the soundboard, man. Chill out. I know you're flexing on me right now, but chill out.
Now you talk.
Small child. Anyway.
Wait, was it Dari?
Okay, at this point, please stop. Please,
Wait. Does every speaker have a soundboard?
Yeah.
It's taking full
Every single
advantage
one
of
of us have
soundboard.
a soundboard, man.
All right.
Everybody has soundboard. Does not mean you should.
It's because we have good behavior. That's why we don't use it.
Nah, I need to find the settings to turn that shit off, man. Anyway, keep going.
Emmanuel, I hate to break it.
Keep going. Don't worry. Keep going.
Yeah. So like, I think the production is really great.
Ooh, I have it.
Found it. I like the live instrumentation. I was on Jogodo. There's a sax. There's a sax part that they gave it its own solo, and it was so mad. So like I'm really liking the production and all of those things. There's also like a lot of Lamba talking and all of those things on the records, like the Jogodo record, the Turbulence record. So I think it starts well, but I think everybody played in their comfort zone. I don't think they were really trying to stretch anything. Everybody was just in their vibe. And I think that's where I was expecting a little bit more. But like, I think, I don't know. I'm enjoying it right now. That's really what I can say. But I think the song that I don't like, I think the production is good, but like I really don't like is the Iskodo record. But
Nice.
Do you know what I call that record?
What do you call
Everything but the kitchen sink. That's the name of the production. Cause I was hearing things I've never heard before.
Me, I love the record though. I beg.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad record though. I'm just saying like I'm sometimes you hear like there's a particular drum that he uses on the song, and it's really when you get into it, it's really dope as a solo. But like as the entirety of the record, I think it just doesn't work. I think there are moments where the synergy doesn't just cut it and all of those things. But like I'm enjoying the EP so far, and I think what's making it worse is that you can just it's 11 minutes. You are back at the top of it again. So there's that stickiness that can come from being able to like quickly go over it and all of those things. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel in the end they stayed in their comfort zone, which worked, but like I was expecting a little more, but it's dope music though.
Nice. All right, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Taj, new speaker, was good. How far, man?
Real, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Street correspondence.
Yeah, street correspondence. How the street saying? What is street saying about Real?
Now, what do you mean what the streets are? Please, I'm not a street artist. According to Bella Smaller, I'm a sophisticated.
Wow.
Big. But I think
something about Taj. I remember Taj said something about like Ordeal and saying I'm like Ordeal. Then I saw something and I was like, Taj is like Ordeal. But sorry, go on.
Like why style wise?
No, just go on.
I don't understand. Anyway,
trying to shoot a shot.
It was style, face, anything I take. But yeah, I think I like the project for what it is. I think it serves. At least I can go to this point and say 2 jams. I will hold it to my chest and say I'm rinsing it right now. Jogodo and Alaye, right? Turbulence.
Turbulence on my first listen wasn't the greatest because I watched it with the video. I don't know, maybe something about the video. I don't know if there were breaks or stuff. I don't know. I didn't really hold on to the meat of the song on first listen, but over time as I've played the EP, because it's very short, so it's very easy to loop it over and over again, and you don't know when you're cleaning your bathroom or cooking, and you just listen to everything over and over again, and you just kind of catch the meat of Turbulence, right? So I think I think Turbulence is there's something there. I don't necessarily like Wiz's part. I think it was a bit too familiar, but then again, that's also his playground. But I think even like some of the melodies were very much reused melodies. Like it just felt very familiar. But I could appreciate Ashake in that headspace because we don't see Ashake in that world as much. I think MMS and maybe a few other records. Now Iskolodo, right? I don't know. I have a guilty pleasure towards that record. The beat is amazing. It's stellar. Um, it's a bit half-assed, but I feel like that is also the vibe, right? It's one of those like, think back there when artists wouldn't finish their verses with words, they would just like hum their way through verses.
Right.
It gave it a bit of that old just freestyle feeling. I think the beat is really hard. But I guess I wouldn't say it's a record that I'll say is perfect. You guys like, and I won't say I won't also say Turbulence is perfect. But you see Jogodo and Ali, I think those are like proper A&R jams, complete. I don't think they could have changed much on both those records. I think they both said exactly what they wanted to do, and that's where I stand. It's a 4-track EP,
Yeah.
Wiz and Ashake, and I know I just 4 tracks. Wiz, Ashake, those niggas are too busy. They're not locking in the studio cooking one. You get cooking
Right.
up one idea ball. I think they sound like records that were sent over on the internet. I don't know how much they recorded in the same spaces. I think they sent a lot of vocals, and I think Magic 6 went to work. Um, and I feel like Magic 6 really did a lot of the like chopping and the arrangements and everything. I could see it in some of the beats, the beat breaks, the pauses, the transitions. Like you could tell this nigga said a lot of ideas, and it felt like Magic 6 really like went to work on his own shit, post production, and really cooked up everything. So it feels like such a Magic 6 moment, and I'm happy that Ashake was able to reel him back. I feel like that's a very nice what's the word? That's a nice, like almost like a payback to all the times that he helped and everything. I know Ashake has it. I know. Well, he was on the last project, right? Okay, no, that was more
Yeah, it
Sans
was.
Peak,
It
right?
was.
But it was like a few records. But I guess this is a nice moment for him, for Magic as well as his resume. You know, but I mean, we're speaking about publishing today. That bag must be heavy. I will be heavy after this project. So,
Yep.
but yeah, it says what it's meant to serve, man. Like, just catch a vibe and let it rock. There's not too much with it. I feel like this is something I think both of them will move past this in the next like 4 or 5 months. Like, I'm sure Ashake is dropping his album this year. Wiz is also dropping an album this year. So for now, it's just a little appetizer for the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how it goes.
Nice. Appreciate it. Fair enough. Straight to the point. Feels like, yeah, I think the consensus on this is kind of gonna be clear, but I'm sure there'll be others that will
There's
fight
some people
it.
that said they don't like it now.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna come across. Who hasn't gone yet? I think. Okay, so yeah, we have some old speakers which I shouldn't have, to be honest, but we hear some of you guys. We hear from Blip, and we get some new speakers. Oh, we have we have Toby, and we have Stefan, my guy. Yeah, let's hear from
Which
Toby.
School?
Toby, I know.
Oh, okay.
No, not School.
I
Not
was gonna
Toby. Not Toby. Real quick, my old speakers, don't go too far. You guys definitely have a turn. I just want to be able to open up my request as much as possible. So, Toby, my guy, welcome. Long time no see, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my guy. Man, how you doing?
I'm good,
Happy New Year,
bro.
everyone.
Hope you're good.
Hi, Bellama. How you doing?
Bellama, are you here?
I know.
They're greeting you, Bellama. Anyway,
I
Sha.
was looking for my mute button. Toby, how are you? How is Abuja? How is life treating you?
Oh, life is good. How you doing?
Nice.
We are here. Welcome. What do you
I
feel
couldn't
about
come to
Rio?
Lagos in December.
It's okay.
Oh.
We understand.
But you held the fort for us now. That in ABJ, so.
Yeah. For me personally, right? I think I like all the 4 tracks. I think I was more interested to listen to like more other speakers speak on what vision was for this EP.
Right.
I think like the video itself, him blocking out the name real, like already anticipated like the expectation. And I think honestly, like looking at where both of them are in terms of the year, both of them have had like one being very scarce,
Yeah.
and one going on a very long feature run. It's a perfect way to end it. Like you said, December gift, which I mean, it starts the new year, the machine doesn't stop. That feels like a rounding up moment of all the songs in the hard drive getting out, and not even just. I mean, I think he has had a very amazing one here. You look at the turntables charts, both of them.
Yep.
It's literally a billion stream between both of them. So,
Mad.
I don't think this was good for both of them. Even if you feel like, yeah, this felt more into with getting into Magic Space, which I think personally I was really happy like that was the direction they went to, because I think Pre-Prime has gotten a lot of movement from Wizzy recently. And like what the OG would do, like lean into the young kids. I think this was a right way to start the year for both of them. Ashake needed a soft landing because I mean the reception when Lungu Boy was coming out was really, really harsh. Like as time would tell, the album has aged like fine wine. Yes, you see it's the worst of the three, but I think music should not be judged that way. Different eras and different contexts between them. I think this was the perfect way to start the year, and then we look for the song that we've all been waiting for from his Red Bull, and then he'll kick off Mr. Money. I think this was a very perfect way for him to start the year without having to drop very early in the year, because we know getting closer to summer, this is when the music really kicks off in terms of touring and in terms of shows they're going to get and in terms of general trajectory of how the year is going to run. So I think this was a very perfect release for both of them. So yes, for what it was, 4/4. I think you can't really go back with 4 tracks. I like 4 of them for different reasons. I like the way Wizkid started one, then Ashake started the next one. I think the subject matter was basically almost the same way they suffered, whether they are right or wrong in their storytelling. It's your perspective, and they talk about being the baddest boy and different slangs. I think it was perfect.
Yeah.
For what it was supposed to be. I get the expectation being that Wizkid, with the kind of catalog he had built, never featured anyone. So many promises, so many lies. And his first try, there's a lot of expectation.
Yeah.
Like having a Kanye Drake moment, and a Jay-Z moment, which is what this is supposed to be, honestly. But at the same time, I think even the way we listen to music now as content, we divide words we listen to, and I think this was just perfect. Listen to it for the next 3-4 months.
So it's not a watch the throne then.
It's not. The effort and the timing.
It's not
what requires to create that. I don't think both of them can put in that effort, because I think it would not be good for any of them. Like honestly, like so, this was just what soft landing, and then both of them planned their year. And then in a few years' time, we come back and say some of these songs sound better than they did when they dropped.
Yeah. Real quick.
You guys think we'll see Volume 2?
Will we see Volume 2?
I don't think we will.
You go Tesha.
Do you get?
When they have grey.
This again will also be a legacy thing.
Yeah.
And he can decide to be a madman and do Volume 2 with a different artist. Because trust me.
Wow.
I mean, but a real Volume 2 with someone else.
That would be kind of.
That would be crazy though.
That would not be real of him, man. God damn it.
That would not be real, please.
Yeah, it won't be real.
So it'll just be like Wiz has an EP series, real series, with just different people we can do it.
But the thing is that why even the setup of this project though, it's not anybody's project.
Yeah, like, I tried to look through it.
Empire that this showed it, like it's not either Sony. I mean, we know Ashake is kind of floaty right now. It doesn't really have, at least as of the last time I checked.
Yeah, wasn't it Gamma at some point?
It was Gamma for one song.
For one record.
Yeah, it was a record apparently. It's not like,
consistent.
Yeah, they've not like agreed on anything further than that. So it's like the fact that even Empire got this gig. Sorry,
what did you say? Starboy,
I know who Real Volume 2 is going to be with. Marvel.
Hello.
Volume 2 with
Please,
Marvel.
I beg. I beg.
I beg.
I don't get you people.
Yeah, but it's Starboy and Giron, and then Empire
And the
is...
Empire. So it's like, and even the fact that it's Starboy written there is very. I mean,
Yeah, I was shocked it
like,
was Starboy written there. To
on
be
a
honest,
business level, there's a lot to look into in this situation. Like, I'm trying to understand how this played out.
how this happened.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't really. It's not tied to anybody. Like, it's not like a Wiz. It doesn't seem. It's not a Sony project, and well, Ashaka doesn't available right now per se. So it's not any of their
Sorry. I want
projects.
to confirm something. You guys in Canada are also saying Starboy and Giron.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I
Yeah.
was saying.
Yeah. Starboy, Giron, and Empire. Yeah.
I think
Yes.
it's very
So it's an all
curious-
territory thing.
Yeah.
Curious that Wizzy has been able to float Starboy whenever he likes, or the different trajectory.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like going with DJ Tunes.
I've always thought it was a DJ Tunes. Like, I've always thought DJ Tunes was always a cop out for him.
Yeah, so maybe they've just recently like
freedom
realigned because Wiz before could not easily float Starboy. Like that.
It was a big deal
to do that shit. But like now, like, and the fact that also Sony didn't grab this project as well, giving Wiz that, you get, like, it's a very interesting situation too. And like,
and for context, South Giddy, right? The EP that dropped South Giddy, the EP that the 3-track EP that dropped last year with DJ Tunes and Maporisa doesn't have Starboy in it.
Yeah, I mean that's so that's like a Maporisa project.
Should I tell you people?
Yeah,
what
so it's
Should I tell you people what happened?
Yeah.
What happened was that they told him, okay, you can go on Apple Radio with DJ Tunes. Ogana went there and started talking what they did not send him. They do not now know how to stop him. They were just like, you know what, anything he said, just assemble.
New money gang.
Oh, he's on his head. Anything that he wants to do, let him just do this one.
I mean, but that's, I mean, I would think Sony would have wanted to get ahead of this because they are the major.
How do you get ahead of an impulsive person?
I mean, he's not signed. he's signed now. Like, so, I mean, it's all interesting, Sha. So, that's why, like, I don't know if Wiz can even do real Vol.2 with somebody else. It's like, it doesn't even feel like it's his own thing.
Yeah.
It just feels like a thing that existed, right? And yeah.
All right.
Like, the only way I can see, if we don't get Vol.2 this year, man, then we should forget about that Vol.2.
I don't think we'll ever get it.
I don't think we will be able to be a long time.
I
think the only way it can happen is if they do it this same year.
Mayowa,
same year.
Mayowa from Culture Custodian on the air, he alluded that the money that both of them asked for advance for this was crazy. And then
because Empire would have had to license this on an independent P from both of them. You get, like, they literally got the project, sold it to Empire because Ashake is not signed to Empire right now. Wiz is also not signed to Empire. So that means Empire took this project, like paid for this project basically. That's crazy. Just like, I can't even imagine what they asked for.
It doesn't say it's a license though. It doesn't say. No, I mean, typically, sometimes it shows, but or does that factor?
Yeah, no, but it definitely is licensed now. Empire could not have gotten this project for free now.
I know, but license for like a period of time.
Yeah, they will definitely have licensed it for a period of time, exclusively for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I thought typically it would show that it's exclusive.
Maybe this time they just. I mean,
this time it doesn't show it's exclusive, but I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's the distributor that writes what they want to write there, right? Some people like to write under exclusive license. Some people just put the slash and say, okay, this is 3 labels that came together. We all co-own this project. Like, I think, like, it just depends on how you want to write it, honestly. And
all right,
maybe that's how they felt like they could.
All right, coming back to the Bedu. Yeah, Toby, you're gonna finish up.
Well, yeah, I think it's a good project in general. I'm very excited for a lot of projects this year in general, and I think this did not disappoint. It wasn't. I don't know. My expectation wasn't great, but this did not disappoint.
Gotcha.
I think this is a very good setting to start the year.
All right.
I think in general, content in general coming from the side of the world is very good to interest in terms of movies, in general, in terms of music, in terms of even video, in terms of direction. There's going to be a lot of celebration, and also the big hitters are going to prove that they're the big hitters, which is like very exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. I
like
like
music in general.
Nice. I like that viewpoint. Appreciate it. Real quick, Stefan, my guy. How far now?
Good day, man. How far?
We day.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a minute since I've been on this thing. I don't even know how guys are raising their hand. I've been looking for the meeting.
Never mind, bro. I got you. What are you saying?
Yeah, that was a solid tape from Ashake and Wizkid. I enjoyed it. The only thing like I find off is that Jogodo track, and I'm surprised that everyone likes it, especially after listening to the full thing. I don't remember
Sorry,
who
please,
said.
Stefan. Stefan, you don't like Jogodo.
So
Wait,
I liked
don't
it.
tear shit.
Yeah,
No, I'm
I
not
don't
tearing
remember.
his shirt. I'm asking, do you or do you not like Jogodo? Yes or no?
So I liked it before the full thing came out. I was okay with it before the full thing came out.
Okay,
Right.
And
interesting.
when I can't remember someone who said the thing was 11 minutes. I feel like that even added, that makes sense, added to how much I hate that track now because
Because you
like
could have
it
added
comes
more
by too
time.
quick
Yeah,
and it's so off.
you could have
It's
stretched
like
it.
it's so, yeah, it's such a different vibe from everything else. So like I'm
Oh
listening, and then Jogodo starts
wait.
playing,
Jogodo is a
and I'm
different
like,
vibe from everything else.
it's a different vibe. Like when I first heard Jogodo, and I feel like I don't know if where I get this from, but it felt like Wizkid put Ashake on a 2016 track that he had in his hard drive. Like if sounds Ashake sounds very comfortable, but I don't know. There's just like an old Wizkid vibe I'm
2016.
getting. I don't know which era, but it's
There
just like
wasn't
a
a
different
piano then. Now, like it
mid
wasn't.
Lagos era. Oh yeah, obviously not the instrumental, but just the vibe that Wizkid brings into the track. It just feels like an old Wizkid
Oh, you
vibe.
mean the lyricism?
Yeah, the lyricism exactly.
Right.
So but then again, it's party
Yeah.
track.
Yeah, it's about
That I
yeah.
forgot. Yeah, so I wasn't thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
But then when you put it in, like the storytelling, I don't understand Yoruba, but like from the small pidgin English I can hear, I know like Ashake is pretty like philosophical a lot of times. Um, so like I really like Ashake's confidence and like how he was flowing on the whole track. But then that Jogodo track, I think is just off. Actually, listening to the whole thing in a loop, it was a tough listen.
Really?
Only that,
Yeah.
but everything else is solid.
Interesting.
Wait, what about Iskolodo?
Iskolodo was nice for you?
What about Iskolodo?
I liked Iskolodo, and so the thing
Thank
about Iskolodo is
you.
that he kept the vibe. He kept the vibe.
Really?
My best tracks are like Turbulence and Alaye.
I like it.
Yeah.
I would have said
While I do not,
Iskolodo distorted the vibe for me
while I do not,
instead of
while I do not
Jogodo.
agree, while I do not agree
Me?
with the reasons why you don't like Jogodo, where there
Okay.
is Jogodo slander, there will be because I don't know like it has not grown on me. I pour fertilizer,
Oh,
It
perfect.
has no
Yeah.
agriculture on me.
For me, Ashake makes the
So
record for me. I think
Yeah,
his
Ashake
delivery on the record is what does it.
Ashake
The
does
bit
save the record.
and the fact that there's actually a sax solo, like for me, it's just a sweet touch. It was tasteful at least that part.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Ashake like makes that record. Ashake's delivery is just amazing, man. I think Ashake and Rema are kind of they're not on the same lane, but they're just both of them are special. I don't like the same way I felt about Burna Boy all through his rise. I didn't think I was going to feel that way so soon about anyone else.
Wow.
And Ashake and Rema are just like that great, I think.
Damn. Quickly had a side after Verna. Didn't take long. Love it. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Stefan.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to ask him something.
Oh, okay, sure.
The similarities that you're talking about on Jogodo, is it because I know that there similarities between sort of like Ashake's flow on Jogodo to Wizkid's flow on yeah. So like I don't know if that's what you're talking about because you're saying it's like an old Wizkid record. So I don't know if that's what you're saying.
I think he's saying lyricism because I asked him for that. I think he's saying like Wizkid's writing on this felt very, you know what I mean? The same way you have a you know how the hook is supposed to be catchy, supposed to be simple, juvenile in essence. So that's exactly what this was. Like that same level of quote unquote Afrobeats like approach towards lyricism on a hook, right? It has to be catchy, it has to be simple in some cases. So I think that's what it was that might rub some people off as dated, and I can see that from a lyric like standpoint. But I think overall,
I understand that. I understand that. I think in the end it works, but like, yeah, I understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
It worked, but definitely, I think Ashake like really killed the record though. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you did. All right. I think that's all the speakers, and then we can
Wait,
bring
I
some
haven't
old
speak
speakers.
now.
Oh yeah, Blip, go
I,
ahead.
I
Sorry,
wanted to
sorry.
add
Power,
something.
my hand, go. My hand, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I have
Slick
some.
back, I got you too. Don't
I
worry.
don't even have much to say at this point anymore. It's just I'm just here to defend this Colodo. Because everyone seems
You
to
don't have to. You don't have to, my bro. It's a
yeah,
lost
no,
cause.
everyone seems to uniformly hate the track,
It's
and
a lost cause.
I like it not for the reason
It's
that not for the
I
reason that
I
everyone is given.
I appreciate what Magic Six try or at least pulled off on the song, but
Yeah.
I just think it was the wrong.
Idea ball.
Yeah, I just think it was the wrong approach from Ashake and Will, or maybe they didn't even have enough intentionality to really like find something in the beat, because their schemes, their flows on it was just lazy. It was just half-assed.
Yeah, I don't.
Like it
Yeah,
was,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't totally disagree with
And
it.
it's not an easy beat, to be fair. It's not like the most comfortable structure for them. I don't think it was. It clearly showed.
Because I think the beat also carried it for me, but also the melody. I think for me, it's the melody, not what they're saying. What they're saying is absolutely basic, but the melody and the rhythm of it. I think recently I've just been finding myself liking like calming music that maybe it's because I do work and I listen to music that I can tune out, but I can still stay with the rhythm
Got you.
while doing stuff. That's
Got you.
why, because that particular track is so suited for you doing like you just and I've caught myself with it because it's just doing what I just like he's gonna do.
Maybe I didn't like it in the context of the EP, because I was
'cause
on a good vibe and good high with Jogodo, with Turbulence. It just felt yeah.
I think another thing is like I think because of both of them, like Wizkid and Ashake. Firstly, there's the Wizkid one last year that was given dropping banger verses and all of that. So there was certain expectation, not over the top expectation, but because it's still
Right.
in his like low key, mellow whatever vibe it
Mhm.
was. Tried to change it up last year, and then there's Ashake because even you said it like especially for Malaye or I don't actually not you. I think
bro, that song.
there was someone that also commented like even like as good as Halaye is, now imagine it in the era of Ashake in the Basquiat era, like when he just attacks beats like a crazy guy. Like I think maybe that was the expectation that people had for like both of them are literally are able to attack the beat better than they did. Frankly, on all the tracks. They did a good job, but they are capable of even doing way more in terms of how they attack the beat, in terms of the lyric, the melody that they could drop. But like as someone said earlier as well, the project doesn't even seem like something that stands big in terms of it's just something that like Taj said, both of them are very busy. I don't think it's something that they're in the studio and they're cooking up ideas like I go this way, I go that way, blah blah blah. So the layback thing was expected in a way, but overall, well, I like all of them. It's 4 out of 4 for me.
If you could rank all the songs, easy, quick.
If I could rank
all of them. What's
I
your
think,
favorite
yeah,
from your favorite
I
to your
think
least?
We all know what number one is.
Everybody knows.
Blip, let me
There's
hear
only
it.
one answer.
Blip, let me hear it.
Alaye is number one, obviously.
Thank you so much.
Alaye is number one.
Valid.
Then Turbulence. Then
Yeah.
Iskolodo. Then Jogodo.
Oh.
Means Alaye then Jogodo.
All I'm hearing in all of this is that Turbulence is getting its due what's it
Yeah,
called? Because all this is
Turbulence-
saying about Turbulence.
I came
That's
to
not like
defend Turbulence, so
Jogodo is the least one from.
we came to defend Turbulence,
I
Slickback.
came to defend Turbulence.
I
So
came
I've
to
always
defend
known. I see. I've always known I've liked you. I've always known.
Turbulence is
Yes,
fire,
defend,
man.
please.
I hear it.
See. Was it Taj
Oh, yeah, thank
that
you.
said that? Taj that said that song is not perfect. That song is perfect. Please.
You are very
That song.
correct.
That song.
Maybe song is it Turbulence?
Turbulence
Yes,
is the best
Turbulence
song.
is correct.
I don't know,
So-
man. Wiz's verse, man. Have you not heard that? Like, I know we say we've heard. No, this one's not about here now. Have you not heard
See,
that
nothing
particular?
concern me with that guy.
It
Nothing
just
concern me
feels
with
like
Liverpool.
be honest, I've
even
not really
use
heard Wiz's verse.
even use the one condition flow now.
No, but
Yeah, he
Wizzy was
did. No,
saying
no, he
something
borrowed.
that
Wait, was
They
it
said
on Turbulence?
on
He said that.
Turbulence. You people have
Was it?
started
Wait, was it on
is it
Turbulence or
on
which
Turbulence?
song?
It's on
Was it
Iskolodo.
turbulence?
He used
I
that
think it's
one.
on
Oh,
Iskolodo.
was
It's
it
on
Iskolodo?
Iskolodo.
Okay,
It was
okay, okay,
Iskolodo. It was
okay.
Now
Iskolodo.
don't
See,
start.
see, see,
Yeah,
see.
it was
Justice
Iskolodo.
for
It was
turbulence.
Iskolodo. He
I
did
was going
that.
to
Was that
say.
one of those
They
songs?
already
It was Iskolodo. I
he did
remember.
it on Iskolodo, not
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss
turbulence.
Flo,
Thank
man.
you.
Please, I want to cook agenda. I want to cook agenda.
What's the
So,
agenda?
thank you very much. First of all, Turbulence is the best song on that project.
That's your
The
agenda?
video. No. That's not my agenda. That one is just by the side. That one is just by the side. I just want to.
Okay,
That
what's your
song is
agenda?
perfect.
What's your agenda?
We have been talking about how new goods are surpassing old goods. I feel that is very evident on the project. Who the landlord is. It's very evident. If people can cut through,
Help us.
if people can cut through
Help
the
us. Help us. What's
turbulence.
the evidence saying? Help us, because we are blind.
All I can say is there's only one landlord. There's only one person that can deliver this project, and that person is, see, if you check if you list all the songs that you're talking about, we like Turbulence, we like
I
Alaye,
think I'm enjoying
we
this
like
agenda, Sean.
we like all the songs if all songs if are talking about, there's one name that stands out in all those songs. There's one person's distinct style that stands out in all those songs. There's one person's distinct
Nigga, get
imprint.
to it.
There's one person's distinct imprint that stands out in all those songs. You can call it Magic Sticks, you can call it Ashake, you can call it MMS, Mr. Money Sound. All I can say is Ashake. Ashake is the new goods. He's here to stay. He's inspiring.
Is Ashake better than Fela?
We'll argue about that in the next 3 years. But right now,
I mean, I don't know that. No, let us put it go my neck.
Before we get to Fela, let us first hold Wizkid. Before we get to Fela,
Can't wait to wake up and see Shewa because it was just on an IG live. Go to sweet.
So I'm trying to say that nobody's gonna be the greatest musician of all.
No, let us argue on between Wizkid and Ashake's performance on this EP.
I'm sorry.
Nobody chop anybody.
I think
To be honest,
Wizkid's like verse, like for
Wizkid does not
example,
even chop
he's the one that
tunes.
took the Alaye the start and like the main chorus of it.
Mhm.
Jogodo
Like,
is one like the main.
I have a feeling that chorus was Ashake's chorus that we just sang and just left it.
Why would you say nah? That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. This guy. That's not fair now.
I don't have proof. I can't back that.
How can you have proof?
That's not fair now.
Okay,
Alaye want to Shabaye.
Emmanuel, even the Iskolodo that you ate, it was when it got to Whiskey Father, there seems to be a little bit of change in the beat. But I mean, overall, you don't like it. But
You're not saving that song. Stop. You're not
I'm
saving that.
I'm telling you something like
no, but Ashake's part. I mean, we know part of Iskolodo.
I don't feel like you.
That's when like the drum kicks. That's when the drum kicks changes and the melody changes for Wizkid. On
I put it to you. You see the way Slickback brought agenda and we're arguing. You see that is Iskolodo agenda. It's cannot fair.
I'm not arguing Iskolodo agenda. I'm arguing
he's just saying that
his
part
point.
of
Iskolodo agenda is forever grounded over here.
He's saying Wizkid is more. Yeah.
No. I'm not even saying Wizkid is more, but it was trying to say Ashake is the highlight of it. But no, clearly it's not.
Oh, praise.
Okay. All right.
Is this part in Alaye?
All right, slick back your agenda. No, but that Alaye hook, I'm sorry, bro.
Rejected.
I'm sorry. That hook was pristine, man. Like, doesn't get fired out of
that.
Bro. Anyway.
Guys, I want to say something.
Yeah, Dante.
So Zichi and Shorimo are credited as writers on Alaye.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
I knew it was somebody else.
I heard that.
And I also remember Zichi wrote a bunch of stuff on Morayo as well. So
Who?
See,
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
That cross
You
of
guys might not know who's
See.
Sorry,
We've been.
let me
Some
let
of
me
us have been asking for Wizkid to go and find writers. Abi.
It
wait.
makes sense now. That cross was too. It was.
It was too
I
good.
think we're asking for Burna Boy to find writers more than Wizkid.
No, we definitely complain about Wiz.
No, what the fuck? Wiz is the
It
person that
doesn't
needs
matter
writers
to
die.
me. I don't
In
give a
fact,
damn
Wiz
who
credits
wrote
writers
it.
that we don't know if he actually used
No,
them.
actually, I give a damn about who
If
wrote
you want
it.
to
Like,
find
cheers
out,
to
like,
them. Love from
Wait.
who
Where were they credited? Because there's no on Spotify.
it wasn't. So like, how I sometimes find out.
I saw the news report though. I saw it online actually. I
No, I
remember
saw
seeing
it.
it.
But
But
like,
think about that
I
Wizkid chorus. That I
think
something that
if
Wiz
you
write.
check the point,
Why not
Meg-
now? Why
Cardi
not
B,
now? That's
Cardi
not
B.
fair. Listen. That hook is
I
not.
didn't hear what
It's
that
not.
was.
No. Listen. Where I kill Wiz is typically in his verses. I kill Wiz in his verses. Trust me.
Emmanuel.
I think Wiz has had some of the most lackluster verses all the way from Made in Lagos down to like recently, right? But one
Wiz
thing I will
does
never
not have a
take.
punch.
One thing I'll never take from Wiz is the ability to find melodies for hooks. To like actually ingrain.
but it's not the melody. It's not just the melody, right? There's a certain punch and there's a certain precise.
And Wiz has that. Wiz has that.
Precision. No, seriously.
He has it.
He sang that chorus like how do I explain it? He sounded like he was reading off a book. Like it felt like it was very
Bro, he was swagged out.
Wiz, let me know the Wiz most of the times like it almost feels like it's his first take. They just take and they work with. They don't like they don't work on like the only time.
He records sitting down basically.
Yeah, you can tell that he's not drinking that cross. He sounded like he was standing. Like
no. I think he was still sitting down here though.
I don't understand.
I think he's still sitting down. I think he's sitting down when he's recording
that,
it.
I don't have proof, but is that Ashake wrote that chorus or somebody else wrote that chorus?
Fair. No,
there is no proof.
See, but the thing is,
Wiz doesn't have a punch like that in how many years? His crosses are not like that. His crosses are more sticky, more
No. I mean, no, but this doesn't even have that much punch. Like,
alright, back.
No. I wouldn't say this hook was all punch. Trust me, I understand what you mean by attack your beats or like punch.
No,
but this wasn't heavy punching though. This was laid back.
No, it was.
This was charismatic. Yeah,
it
now
was very organized. It was a very organized chorus.
Yeah, but he was floating. He was floating. It wasn't punching. It wasn't punching it. I feel like there's a difference, man. It was just like he was just on a. It was just in the.
That was rhyming though. So
yeah.
Every time.
But Wizkid recently dropped Kesse, and I think Kesse had a little punch to it.
No, but even
Kesse also had
from
right.
Okay.
Okay,
then yeah, point me that.
No, it's possible. It's possible.
Point me.
It's possible. It's possible, but
I know, bro. He executed the writing well.
Yeah.
That's just what you're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like when they sign off,
I think
all the writers, props to them.
No, but we're speaking about his delivery. We're speaking about his delivery here, though.
Exactly, we are talking about his delivery, not the.
I think his delivery.
I don't get. Don't be have deliver. Why we go to argue that? It's not his voice. Why here?
No, but you're making it seem like you're making it seem you're making it seem as if it was coached. You're making it seem as if it was coached to deliver.
Now come be like, okay, now like this you go deliver. I don't get you, sir.
No. What I'm saying is that I'm saying like there's clearly a reference for that, and he threaded that reference
okay.
very specifically.
All right.
Like that's not a recent with flair at all.
I know. I feel it's something you would drop in DJ Tunes, bro. Anyway, man.
I say we know the shalaye, man. All this yarning. Did you packet have?
Yo.
All these arguments.
Anyway.
I just need Nigerian artists to understand that as much as finding writers is not only for R&B song, you can find writers for Gbedu too.
Yeah, for sure.
You can find writers for
Okay.
We have biggest issue is that I don't like when Afrobeat doesn't get treated like a pop genre. I feel like we take a lot of things that we shouldn't from hip hop, right? So if we treat it like a pop genre, the idea of a writer would not be foreign.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy because we're not as overtly introspective as past. Or should I say not introspective? Like we don't like our music is not necessarily about our.
Tad, you're cutting off.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Hear me?
Just go ahead.
Wait, can you hear me?
Oh
So
shit,
yes.
shit. Yeah, I mean,
Okay, yeah. So I'm saying like, it was like,
oh man, shit. Nah, you might have to leave and come back.
It be like in baby they call him.
You might have
To
to
be
leave
honest, I
and
don't
come
lie.
back.
I'm happy that the network is back.
You might leave and come. Oh, but real quick, we have other new music to talk about. Real quick. I know, not
Emmanuel,
everybody.
let me talk about this
Two
EP.
seconds, 2 seconds, I beg, and then you open up for the next one.
All right.
Talk about Shay vibes on Malay after 2 seconds. And
yeah, that's a fire record. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, this is Afrobeats. This is not hip hop. Right. It's only when it's Wizkid's music we start to talk about whether he can write, whether he can Is his song good? His song is good. For those of you Afrobeat engineers, now when you hear his song, you guys start looking for who the credit, who did the beat, who. Good luck to you. For those of us that listen to the record, I love the EP. Everybody knows that when you hear Jogodo, you will know it's just an EP that Wizkid was trying to vibe. Him and Ashake were just trying to make, vibe records, right? Talking about music writing, when we in 2025, except you were not in 2025, maybe you just spawned from 2024. But in 2025, with all the fire verses that Wizkid gave, do you understand? We are acting like he just started from Money Constant. Again, we are overanalyzing the music, and that's what's killing the game. That's why some of you open your mouth and say, Burna Boy is no sign of weakness, but not because you're overanalyzing the music, right? The EP was good. All the songs gave what it gave. There's no bad song there. I'm not listening to the music to start asking about whether the lyrics is lazy. I mean, Taj, I checked your page and I saw you giving props to Dan Papa GTA. Ikeja for the logo T4 Ikeja. Like you have the guts to talk about writing. These are the issues.
Wait, did it?
Hey, not too much on street
Yo.
Anyway, easy. It's friendly fire.
Not too much on street correspondence.
It's friendly fire though. It's friendly fire.
It's because of sake of network.
Yeah. It's friendly fire.
That's the most Ghanaian thing I've ever heard you say sick of.
But anyway, Sha, that's what I'm just trying to say. Like for me, the best song is Turbulence, obviously. But my most played song is
obviously. I don't know if that's obvious.
It's a different vibe.
Wait, your most played song is what?
Is Iskolodu, my guy.
What?
And I promise you, don't worry, we'll be here.
Anyway,
Emmanuel,
yeah.
Remember this date. We'll be here. I remember when Money Constant dropped. I remember what you guys were saying. I remember. We all knew
but
that.
They didn't have issue with business part though.
No, I don't care about what.
No, Wiz was the best part.
Anyway. Emmanuel, remember that EP? Everybody, Fiesta is the jam. But this Money Constant, what is this? But
I don't remember.
The December song was Money Constant. Again, we are I've said it many, and actually Pepe can remember. We are to a generation of music listeners.
I cannot remember anything. Why did they call my name?
No. Remember when I said Kizana no go chop. We are to a generation of music listeners. We like to lie to ourselves that we love conscious music so much. You are all liars.
Can you please not generalize?
All right. Shay vibes.
Yeah.
Shay vibes on Malay.
I have one question, right? Did you guys clock? Did you not just you like this? Anyone can pick this. Did you guys clock the biting of flows from each other? Because there's something that we once mentioned here about the respect that they might have for
that's
each other.
That's collaboration right there.
Yeah. But that's why.
Yeah, I was very much fascinated and impressed and wowed by it. Like they beat each other's flows and not like words, and they actually executed whatever they wanted to sound like. Like we sounded like Ashake was perfect.
On that point, like it's the same reason why I didn't walk out of that EP going, "Ooh, who killed who on the song." Because, there was mutual respect. Yeah, because it felt very, very, very like
it's like this two people walked in the studio and they both respected and liked each other and ended up doing.
For a minute. Now, Shake just respect her.
If you say it like that, then maybe Wiz wouldn't be. If you say it like that, then
I don't know. I know to chop you.
So Taj, I agree with you.
Taj, remain small for him, babe. Now, like just leave a little bit of room.
All right. Let's move on. I enjoyed that part of everything.
Sorry.
I just wish more artists in Afrobeats would come together
They
with
won't
some
now.
pure heart to
Music,
do
music
stuff
I
like
heads
think
are
that.
gassing them up to do so.
I think it's gonna happen. I think you're gonna see
Now, why
more
not
collabs.
wish in the end, Sha? It's
I
a
think it will
More
happen.
wish.
I think it will
collaborative
happen.
projects.
Yeah, I think more
If they like,
collab
but
projects will
if they like, but
happen.
they no
I
collaborate.
actually think it'd be a good idea to have more collaborative
Yeah,
projects.
I mean,
yeah.
it has
Like
always
Well,
been
clearly,
the
we've
like
had
this
best
is
of
some
it.
last.
In
We
recent,
we have, but
no, but
obviously,
that's what I'm
we've had.
saying now. In
yeah,
recent time, like Ruga and Benson's collaborative project did pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now Ashake and Wiz. Like I really hope we do
I'm
get a
talking
bit
about
I
two
more.
think there's a
Nigerians.
Sean
Oh.
Kuti and
I'm talking about two
Vector.
Nigerians, not the one that.
Brother, we're talking about Afrobeats.
LL, this nigga,
We're talking
brother.
about
There's a Sean Kuti
Afrobeats.
and Vector.
Wait, wait,
Ah, I
wait,
We
don't
are
wait.
talking
die.
about Afrobeats.
I don't
Emmanuel,
die.
I'm not in this space, too. I'm not in this space, too. You
We're
know,
talking about Afrobeats.
we don't
LL.
have,
Gucci
we
go
don't have.
Yes.
collaborate with VDM, I beg, or Pella.
LL, that's so
See,
Oh,
funny.
Emmanuel, you know we don't have
that's quite
Afro
the
legal
collaboration.
services
That's
now.
too
We have
funny,
Afro
man.
legal
All
Oh,
right,
it's crazy.
all right,
Yeah, I know
real quick,
So I want to
man.
move to Shea
Shay
Vibes. I want to
vibes.
move to Shea Vibes.
Now they feel that update. I mean,
Sorry, Dari. I want to move to Shea Vibes
Shay
real quick.
vibes on my
I
lane.
gotta sleep, man. But
New
before I
tune.
say this, if you think anybody carried that EP, yes, we agree. Just go stream. That's all. Anyways, sorry, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So again, another collaboration that will not collapse. You know, yeah. Shea Vibes and Omale. Shout out to whoever decided to put those two together. I love when people try out, different sounds from different atmosphere. My Healer, that's a wonderful record. To be honest, I just feel like whoever was their music exec or so was just trying to try out their star power. And you know what I'm saying. I don't want to mention names, but I feel like they should have released it album, this song earlier this year, or probably like March.
Earlier this year.
Yeah. I mean, dropping these. A lot of people don't know that this song has dropped. I promise you.
Oh, you're
Like,
saying they should have. I say, do you
Yeah.
mean they should have released it later this year?
Yeah, like later this year or earlier,
Okay.
or like the time that Priest drops his Akonuchi. Because a lot of people, I'm not even happy. Forget about.
Oh, like earlier than this, like a few weeks, like 2 weeks
maybe
ago.
like maybe like early January. But I think that many people, including the guys who dropped an EP, I think they shifted it because of Money Constant's motion. In my opinion, no, I just feel so. But like I feel like Shea Vibes and Omari should have dropped it because this is a powerful record. But they tried their star power, dropped it the day before Wizkid and Ashake's EP, and it just swallowed it up. Even if on the online streaming and the Twitter, social media, I know people will listen. But I promise you, in real life, I mean, from my own end, a lot of people don't yet know, right? And maybe the video will do more justice.
No, I mean, it's a tough week. I mean, Wizkid and Ashake dropped and
plus
collab
the
project.
controversy and all,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So, but
It's
that's
week.
just my anger. That's just my only anger.
But you like the record?
Yeah, fire. I think all the records that have dropped this year from important people, even the young guy that.
Sorry for unimportant people, man.
Wow, so you they insult my.
No, it's fine. I don't insult anything. I'm just saying shout out to that guy. Very important. Which one is
wait. That Papa, now.
Excuse me,
anyways,
please. There will be no damn Papa slander.
No.
Anyways,
that Papa is
You are
important.
looking for trouble on this space, Sha.
That Papa is important. Don't worry.
In 20 seconds or so, the reason I wanted to just say this real quick. I feel like in as much as I know I hit one side of the coin. So in as much as Wiz and Ashake dropped this EP, which for the first time in a long time, I see my Idolo for Snapchat ad. I never see him for my life before. Shout out to Empire. God continue. May God bless you and your family. You get what I'm saying? Well, in as much as they've dropped this, please, if you're a young, new artist and you are on this space in the anonymous listener, your A&R is here. That song that you're waiting for the boss to die is not going to die down. Drop the music now. Right? Because Wizkid don't drop. Once Bonner is dropping next week. Once Davido, all those guys drop again. I think we spoke about it again last week. It's all over for you guys. Learn from Priest.
Anyway.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
shout out to Shea Vibes and Omali.
Man. Any other thoughts on that one? Open to anyone.
That record, my first listen was.
Oh yes, sorry, Taj. Sorry, yes. What's your name? Ekene, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your patience. Yes, man. Appreciate you for waiting. Yeah.
I don't wait a tire guy. We just tagging.
My bad, bro. Ekene.
Yeah.
No vex.
No, there's another Ekene. Is that what you're saying?
Can I do your own man-to-man version and take and write for him?
Okay. Let me be quick because I want sleep, guy. Okay, let me just say something real quick.
Yeah.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want to believe everyone here because what I will see, I want everybody to just please let me just just discern and just say my mind first, so I'll not be interrupted.
Sorry, are you
Okay.
speaking on Shay Vibes and Omale?
No. In the EP, on the EP.
Oh, my brother.
All right. Okay.
My
So
brother.
now the thing is that now the thing is that
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's a whiskey space, so so much glaze will be going on. It's beautiful. I'm seeing it, and I understand. I get it.
This is the first time we got a whiskey space, man. Thank the Lord. I love it. Let's go.
Now let me defend.
Yeah,
Now
but
let
we
me
made
defend.
it.
We made it,
Please, oh
man.
please,
We made it out here.
please. All right. Now here's the thing. I want to believe everyone here is actually music literate. You understand? Like to an extent above average. You understand? Has some sort of like passion for the music. You get? So I don't understand how people with this sort of like orientation about music hear and people like this and hear and go, oh my goodness, this is actually good music. This is actually great music. Now please wait. Let me first finish. When I hear this EP, to be honest, I didn't really have high expectations because I wrote this in a like I used to write on album talk. I'm so album of the year website. And I wrote like to be honest, I didn't have
Sorry,
high
you wrote for
expectations for
album
this EP.
talks?
No, album talk, sorry, album of the year. It's a website. So
Oh.
no album talk, sorry.
Okay.
So I wrote that I did not have high expectations for this EP because from the get go, I had my cynicism because of from the single Jogodo. I had it. I was like, okay, this EP might not really build up or amount to anything, but I just had my own doubt and my reserves about it. I just kept quiet. But when I was hearing Jogodo was just run of the mill undercooked record. Like honest, it just sounded so undercooked. Like I just the numbers is great and I love it for Afrobeats, but you see this, I just feel like that record would just die a quick death as much as Kesa was a good song, but it will just feel like the same way.
Taj,
It
please
feel like
don't say that you want to say Taj, please. I beg you, just mute. Taj, please. I
now,
beg
now,
you.
now,
Wait, I want
now,
to talk.
now, calm down.
Laughter
Now when
every day your voice, Save. That's the
Please,
bad part.
please.
now,
Can I
now, now
finish?
when
Can I finish,
No,
please?
now,
now
guys,
when
let him get to his point now.
Yeah.
when the EP dropped, I listened to the entire EP. Even like it felt like as if my cynicism was rewarded. Like I was like, okay, wow, he actually did not fail to disappoint me. He did not fail to disappoint me. Like it's crazy how two artists of this kind of stardom should have made something, should have come together and it's kind of like create a celebration to celebrate, to make something monumental, to celebrate their stardom, to celebrate their dominance, and end up making something that feels like an undercooked fan service cash grab. Like I hear this EP and it's like there's so little internationality to it, and it just shows
Mano, you get
from
my
the
gift.
I
undercooked.
don't know why
Wait. Let him
undercooked
cook.
fan service cash grabs
Cook.
feels like big English.
Let him
I
cook.
don't know
Calm
what.
Let
down.
him
You
cook.
know what I mean.
Emmanuel, give
Let me
Let
first
him
finish.
cook.
Let me
Let
first
him
finish.
cook. I
Let
Have
beg.
me
you
first
people
finish.
learned the
Or a
music
salad.
techniques?
On it.
Let me finish.
Or a salad.
The video
No, man, why
of
are you doing this to him?
I beg.
Yo.
By the way, I just need
Yo.
to
Swear
say
that's what
this, man.
I
I
heard.
need to say this, man. I need to say
Yo.
this. Now me be the
Pause.
other Ekene, and I've had this.
Pause. That can I cook, man. Let's not interrupt.
I'm so sorry. Let Ekene finish. That was not a be all end all for everybody to jump in. Ekene, please go ahead.
Please
cook.
finish your point.
All right, thank you. So what I'm saying here is not me trying to sound condescending or me trying to sound like I'm superlative or anything. It just means how trying to use words to articulate what I truly feel about it, because there's no other way for me to put it without using this word. I could use some more lesser words, but it won't really say or drive home my point, that kind of thing. So do not see me as one kind of, oh wow, it's that smart. It just I just have some. I meant to get big vocabularies for some things. You get that? Don't see me that way. So what I'm trying to say is that when I hear this EP, from the cover alone, it just seems like some cheap Photoshop work. Like, and it's crazy because they had so much interviews, so much media hype, and so much press, and just to tease 4 tracks. You're telling me 4 tracks for all of that? And I'm hearing this and I'm seeing this. I'm like, wow, they didn't even put effort. They did not put effort. And the only song from this EP that I even moved to East Coast because I'm type of guy that likes, more of like eclectic sounds. So when I had the sample, I was like, okay, yeah, okay. I'm seeing something to it, but it goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. Two guys like this with this sort of like resources at their disposal and ending up making like Asake and Wizkid, think about it. Is this what you really expected? Asake and
Yes,
Wizkid.
yes, actually,
And I'm
precisely
here
is
like,
what I
and I'm
said.
like
Like, do you
seeing so much
get?
blaze, seeing so much hype here, and I'm like, okay, it's a whiskey space, no problem. But I feel like I need to say this.
But that whiskey
How is
space,
everyone
man.
here okay with this? With this like music, like I'm not a lot of people who listen to so much music, has energy range, and you this like by eating, like, okay, what? This is just miracle. Like it's just
All
okay
right.
at best. Like the saying is okay, just be putting
All right,
likely.
all
That's how
right,
I just
all
say it.
right.
So
Gotcha,
anyways,
gotcha,
that's
gotcha,
just it.
gotcha,
That's
gotcha.
my
Just in
take.
case
Bloomsy,
All
you're
right.
wondering, right? If you know
Larry,
Wiz and
Larry, mute your mic. Your
Ashake,
mic was giving feedback.
Bloomsy.
if you
Bloomsy,
know
you
Wiz
guys
and
are mad though.
Ashake, this would have been your exact expectation, and especially
Yeah.
current day, present day
I don't
Wiz
even
and
know why you guys
Ashake.
just type whiskey on that guy's
That's the
page.
point. That's the
Anyway,
point.
anyway,
Like
anyway.
it
Type
Thank
feels
you,
it
like
on
it
thank you,
feels
that
like
thank
it
you,
guy's
feels
thank you
like
page.
it
so
feels like it
Larry
feels
is
much.
like
dedicated
that's
hitter.
the
I
point. It
love
feels
him
like
though. I love the guy.
the artistic like quality is seeing a decline. And although Ashake hasn't got we I don't know how I feel about Ashake. He hasn't got to the point, but I feel like there's a way Ashake is moving now. There's this sort of like although there's a confidence, but the his performance, his delivery, it feels more dowsy. Like the reason that much song
All I'll
of
say to this is you must be new here. I don't even know
No,
what to
no, no.
say
It's fine.
again,
He has a valid.
I
because
am,
like
I
No,
am,
no,
this,
no, no, no.
of
because this
course.
is what I
Make
expect
it
from
a very good point.
a peak
I agree with
No,
Afrobeat
you.
artist.
I agree with you.
What?
I
Are
was
you
okay.
serious?
Okay, wait, 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 wait,
You
wait,
can't
wait, wait. Pause, pause, pause.
with
We're about to go.
all the music you listen to, and this is how it's
Can
Nah,
I
okay.
you're
thank you?
good,
Can I
bro.
thank you? Can I thank you so much?
All right. I mean,
Appreciate
so why
everybody.
not?
Appreciate everybody.
Ima,
Again,
Ima,
thanks
please,
for the
Just
patience.
type
May I
whiskey
just say
on his
something?
page. You will not be
Thanks for the
surprised.
patience.
This
Thanks for
guy
the
went for his
Ima,
patience.
artwork.
Ima, please, may I just say something? Just
Please
one
make it
sentence.
finite.
See, it will be very finite. Shape can hear me.
Yeah.
Brother, after all that, no offense, but eclectic, glory,
It's cool, though.
whiskey that Ashake.
Cash grab.
You
Anyway,
guys know
anyway,
what I
anyway,
mean
anyway,
for God.
anyway.
For Jesus.
Or
Like,
a
No,
no,
let me
salad,
I
anyhow,
give
this
I
you.
like
one.
the
Fine.
line, man. Of
Oh
No,
my
what was
days.
the line?
I
Cash
actually
grab.
like
The
that
thing
there's
is that the
somebody
thing is
who
that
is
I feel
not.
like you are not taking this seriously. I am
No, no,
being
no.
so
I
like
think
no,
I
I'm not
think
taking
Ekene,
it.
I
I'm
I'm
not
not
gonna
taking it
agree
lie to
with
seriously.
you,
I'm
you.
not taking
Kene.
it.
no.
I
Your
mean,
point
I'm
is
To be
not
valid.
very
Your
taking
point is
honest,
I'm
valid. To
just
be
you're
honest,
taking it too seriously.
your
That's
point is
what I'll
valid.
say.
It's an
Keep my
expression. It's
gangsters
me
on
definitely
this
a
boys.
seriously.
position
Gangsters
that
on
I
boys.
am just
exists.
what I'm
All
saying.
right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so
What
much.
I'm just saying is
Sorry,
that
Akene.
what's
So sorry. So sorry. I hate to cut you short, but we are out of time. Okay, we can't stay here any longer. All right. I love you guys, but man has to move. Life has to go on. You know. We have more music we would have talked about. We had more happenings we could have talked about. But yeah, this was a very, very poor job on my end of limiting topics to a certain timeline because it just fucked up the entire schedule. But we had man to man to talk about. We want to talk about all the freestyles that I dropped in that challenge and get some input on it. We're going to talk about the little showings that we're seeing in Paris Fashion Week as well. Even though there's not much there, but you get what I mean. But there's also more new music. Simi and Chike as well. Ladipo dropped. A Konuche remix. New Boy Spice. Kumi as well. I forgot to tap into Kumi. But by God's grace, man, we will learn more time next week for new music. Okay, so we'll catch up on all the music, man. So again, appreciate everyone that made tonight fun. All the takes, all the submissions. Shout out to again the first topic that we got to expand on longer than I thought we could, but it was definitely an interesting one. Appreciate everyone again that tapped in. On that note, Belema, any closing remarks before we let everyone go?
I just have one thing to say. No matter what the abbreviation is, fight the power and fight the system.
Moral.
That's all I have to
Fight
tell
the
you
system.
people. Whether it's your CMO or your PRN or your local, government institution.
Fight for your
The
rights,
power.
fight for your legacy.
Yeah. And collect your money.
And collect
That's
your
all
money
that
for
matters.
sure. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, man.
Fight the power.
All right. Appreciate you guys, man. This was fun as usual. Tap in on the podcast places as well. Leave reviews. We'd really appreciate those as well. In case you missed some of the earlier topics, because this will be going down soon. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. We out. Peace. Alaye want to travailler. Alaye want to travailler. Alaye want to travailler.